Hello, everybody. It is 8 p.m. in Chicago and 9 p.m. on the East Coast. I said that the opposite way of how I usually say it. And it is time for Shapes and Forms. I am joined tonight by Shredney Vashtar. Indeed. And Trevor Whatever will be joining us a little bit later in the evening. Two quick things before we actually do stuff. And I mentioned this stuff on my Twitter, so if you follow me there, you saw it already. But GeoGuessr is out of our rotation for a little bit because I'm a dunce and forgot to renew my subscription. Should be back in a couple weeks at most, but that is why we're not doing it tonight. And starting from this show going forward, I have a list of Patreon patrons and the past week's Ko-fi supporters for my personal Ko-fi account, and we will be reading those off as a form of thanks at the end of the show. Yeah. Alright. I think... Why is that up? There we go. That was weird. At the time of my life? Why are you singing the fucking song from Dirty Dancing that I don't remember the name of off the top of my head? Dirty Beats?
What is going on with the broadcast?
What you mean?
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Don't scare me like that.
It was not showing up for me. It was very strange.
It might have just been a little bit of latency, but hopefully that's over now.
Yeah.
Yeah, for those of you who just got in, like I said, Trey will be joining us a little bit later on. In the meantime, I'm gonna take that opportunity to play as the engineer, because I don't usually do that. Risk of Rain 2 feet picks. I don't know about that one, Marone. Alright,
What's up?
This is interesting.
No, Mur, I knew you were gonna do it. I just kind of knew, but I'm disappointed anyway.
1 second, folks. I got the wrong controller. I need to get the good one. That's the one with the broken stick. Controls are all... Yeah, toggle sprint is on unknown for reasons I cannot begin to fathom. Put that over here.
Wait, explain.
Yeah, no, I heard about this earlier. Some guy on Twitter was...
What even happened?
Was upset that Mur dared to cross him. I set these backwards. Now it's not letting me do it at all. What the fuck is going on with these controls? There we go. But yeah. So I had a powerful concept I wanted to bring up tonight, Shredney.
Oh dear.
Have you ever thought about the idea of a moon shanty?
No.
Okay, you know how there's places on the moon that are called seas and oceans for geographical reasons?
Yes.
Sea shanties, but for those. That's the entire
okay.
thing.
I get the principle.
Off to a raucous start here on Shapes and Forms.
It is unusually quiet.
Yeah, it's been a weird day. How are you?
Pretty good. I spent the last couple of hours listening to music.
Hmm. I played a bunch of Crusader Kings 2 earlier, and I have in my current campaign like a Shia Muslim nation I am in charge of, and they are like descended from Viking people who I had invade like Anatolia. So that's what's going on in that area.
Could you repeat that? What happened?
Uh, okay. Do you know where Anatolia is?
Yes, I know where Anatolia is, yes.
Okay. So, like, the game started, and I was playing as, like, a Viking warlord, and the thing that the game lets you do is if you are a Viking, you can, prepare an invasion against larger countries.
Uh-huh.
And, if you win, you get to take all of the land that you occupy. So we invaded Turkey. We used, like, a little piece of Italy as like sort of an intermediate stepping stone, and we invaded Turkey. And now it's like 200 years later, and the descendants of those people are like Viking slash Byzantine cultured, and they practice Shia Islam.
Oh, Shia Islam, you mean?
Yes. I don't know Arabic orthography.
Like, actually
but that is what I'm doing in that game. No?
What? I'm sorry.
You just had no reaction to it whatsoever.
I'm sorry, I was preoccupied with Mur dunking on this guy hilariously.
What?
Actual Cannibal Shia Islam.
I don't understand.
You've never seen the actual Cannibal Shia LaBeouf video?
No. Is everybody okay?
It's really good.
Like, I realized I started off on an esoteric subject with, like, a specific Crusader Kings 2 save, but, like...
So now you're a Shia Viking.
That's more or less the gist of things, yeah.
Okay.
Fever Dream type? Do we have types for our streams? That's a terrifying thought. Hello? Uh-oh.
Just wait a second. I have something important to say.
Are you gonna actually say it? Look, it was only like 3 hours, Marone. There's no need to exaggerate. Shredney. Have I played any Resident Evil games? No, I have not. I think the whole stream was 6 hours, but we only played Code Vein for like a third to a half of it. One of the reasons I don't really stream Code Vein anymore is that it's very easy to not know what you're supposed to do in that game. As fun as I do generally find it. I need to finish that at some point. No, it's fine. Like, some of our non-Shapes and Forms streams run pretty long. Shredney, are you still here?
Yes.
What are you doing? The Daughters of Ash mod for Dark Souls? I didn't even know there were, like mods that actually changed significant things for Dark Souls. I know there's, like, some stuff with, Shredney is vibing so fucking hard right now. Okay. But like I knew there was like one that like made it first person, and there's a couple like mods that like change enemy placements and stuff. I was not aware people were making like mods of consequence for Dark Souls. In fact, I don't think I've ever heard of Daughters of Ash. And I'm interested to learn about it. I should like buy something from up here. What do we got here? Give me the gas, please. Gas, gas, gas. Yeah, how are you guys doing today? Being yelled at by Twitter randos aside. And make no mistake, someone can have 3,000 followers and still be a rando. It's all about perspective. Tredney, are you alright?
I am fine. I'm just, I'm...
Yes.
Well... Y'all want to check my Twitter replies now?
No. I'm streaming. And they're watching the stream. This is like the worst medium you could have used to do this. Whatever you're doing.
Yeah, fair. I apologize.
What did you do?
I just...
You have to explain
There was
to
an
us
opportunity
now.
and I took it.
An opportunity for what, you frustrating person? Shreddy.
Well... I simply saw an opportunity to, ask a certain person if they were unironically using Stalinist terminology to refer to people who disagree with them.
Shredney.
Because inquiring minds want to know.
Shredney. Shredney.
Yes.
Shredney?
Yes.
I'm going to yeet you to the sun. This is not good stream content.
I mean, watching me start shit with somebody could be very good stream content.
Who was the best? Who was the best Bobobo character? No,
I have never seen Bobobo.
I have seen Bobobo. It's Beauty, because without her, there's no grounding. Because everybody else is stupid and ridiculous. She's the only, like, straight man character. I sympathize heavily with straight men, with straight men in comedy shows. Because, like, I too feel as though I am surrounded by ridiculous people at all times and never know what's going on.
I mean, to be fair, whenever you're in my vicinity, then you are surrounded by ridiculous people.
Yes, people
because I count as multiple people.
People who do things like try to start beefs with Stalinists on Twitter during my show.
He's not a Stalinist, he's just some, like...
Not yet.
Dickweed, obnoxious DSA guy. But it's just that these people actually unironically use that term, and I'm like, do you know where that comes from?
I just don't know what you're talking about, and it doesn't sound
the term
very fun.
Referring to people as wreckers. That's actually
that's someone who is a fan of the video game Racketeer.
Well, that's spelled differently.
Seminal 2010 JRPG item shop simulator classic Racketeer.
You mean, like, the Suffering of Capitalism simulator?
I think that game is actually pretty lighthearted. I own it. I don't think I've ever played it, though.
I'm saying that as a joke because
Yeah.
I've heard people essentially say
yeah,
as much
well,
as,
the joke, oh, that's bad. The joke people make is like they paint Wreck-It, the main character, as like a mob boss, basically. Which is very funny because she's like a 12-year-old girl.
Yeah. Relatable.
Yeah.
Being a mob boss, being
How do
a
I
12-year-old
feel
girl.
about Daffy Duck? I enjoy Daffy Duck.
Yeah, he is
Hey,
better than Bugs Bunny.
I don't know if
Calling
I'd
it here.
agree with that, but it goes into what I was going to ask. Looney Tunes power rankings.
Not the most powerful, but easily the best is Wile E. Coyote.
Ooh, I feel like that's a controversial choice.
Because he is just like he's very sympathetic. I
Um,
I I I,
Whoa.
I feel for him, and I want him to murder that fucking bird.
I mean, it helps that the Roadrunner has basically no personality. It just shows
Like
up and says meep meep and runs away.
the Roadrunner's animation has personality.
Well, yeah, but that's different from the
But-
character having personality.
But I mean,
Alright,
well,
I'm
the
dead.
thing is that like I think that animation can convey a personality. It's just that the thing is that I
You
still
get the
want
sense
to kill
that you get the sense that he's mischievous.
Yeah, and I mean I don't hate the Roadrunner, but I do want Wile E. Coyote to just get the fucking bird.
That's
Like he's
fair,
been
I feel
trying
like.
so hard,
I-
hard.
It's one
for
of
so
those
long.
things. It's like how Elmer Fudd can never catch Bugs Bunny. Can never see
Well,
Bugs
no,
Bunny.
but like Elmer Fudd is a dunce.
That's true.
Wile E. Coyote
Like,
is not dumb.
Wile E.
Wile E.
Coyote is like another degree more sympathetic. Would you put
Yes.
Wile E. Coyote over Elmer Fudd in terms of just like
Yes.
favorites? You would. I think I would also. I think Elmer Fudd does not work in a vacuum.
Yeah, Elmer Fudd needs to be in contrast with Bugs Bunny, who, on his own as well, I think would be kind of insufferable.
Yeah.
Like, he mainly works as playing off of other characters. You know?
Yes.
Daffy Duck, it would be very annoying, but I don't know, I like him for some reason.
There are like Daffy Duck cartoons where he is not in concert with any other character, and they're pretty good.
Yeah. And, let's see.
Merp, why are you writing psychological fanfic for Elmer Fudd in my chat right now? Not that it's the worst thing by any stretch of the imagination to ever be in my chat, I'm just a little confused. Hello, Gogo. We're talking about Looney Tunes power rankings. So, like,
Yeah.
the thing is, like, in terms of actual, like, force, Bugs Bunny is clearly the strongest Looney Tune.
Probably, unless you're...
The only thing, like,
There are
there-
one-off characters who may be more powerful.
there's cartoons...
Michigan J. Frog
Michigan
is
J.
basically
Frog...
God.
Michigan J. Frog is really more of a force of nature, I think.
Exactly.
Look, Lola Bunny is a later invention, and I do not recognize.
Yeah, that's a
the
different
latter-day
category
Looney
of
Tunes.
character. We're talking about, like, OG stuff, then Michigan J. Frog is the most dangerous. By far.
Yeah.
Like, he probably has an actual body count. Or
Yo,
they
like,
hit.
Another Froggy Evening, which is the cartoon that Merv is
Yeah.
referring to, is actually one of my favorite Looney Tunes shorts. That's the one where Michigan J. Frog gets, like, Marvin the Martian finds him, and
Oh.
he actually sings for Marvin the Martian, because Marvin the Martian has no ulterior capitalistic motive.
That's good. I like that.
Does this mean that Marvin the Martian is the most powerful Looney Tune? Let's discuss this.
I mean, he is
It's
in a
sort of,
perverse way that... I would
it's-
say that Marvin the Martian is the purest of heart, but that does not mean he's a good person.
It's
If
sort
that
of
makes sense.
well, like what I'm getting at. It's sort of like Pericles is arguing that his infant son rules Athens kind of conversation, right? You familiar with this line of thought?
Okay, explain.
So, like, the Athenian ruler Pericles said that
Yes.
his infant son was actually the ruler of Athens because he answered to his wife, and his wife answered to their kid. So
that is
I'm
an interesting
taking
point
that
of argument.
to this Looney Tunes argument. Like, I feel like if Michigan J. Frog is the most powerful Looney Tune, and then Marvin the Martian is the one person that Michigan J. Frog will defer to, that makes Marvin the Martian the most powerful Looney Tune.
Yeah, Murr, exactly. Exactly, Murr. Is this like how Gon is the most pure character in Hunter x Hunter, but not the most morally good? Yes.
Well, see, that's a different conversation, I feel like.
I do that, yeah, but I mean, I think that it's relevant to the whole thing regarding why the frog allowed him to hear his song.
Yeah. I mean, like, you know, when I was a kid, I was like, oh, this crazy Martian wants to blow up the planet, how funny. Nowadays, I'm like, I kind of get it.
Yeah.
What
like,
is
yeah.
his motivation is like Earth is blocking his view or something? Is that it? I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's basically that Earth is in the way of his view.
Yeah.
If I'm not like
Look,
his beautiful view of the vistas of the world.
We don't talk about Pepe Le Pew. Pepe Le Pew is at or near the bottom. I hate that thing.
Yeah, I would.
Those cartoons have aged very poorly.
Those have aged fairly purely. Later ones that feature the character kind of tone down the deep awkwardness
I have
that surrounds
heard that
the
from
earlier
people.
ones.
I don't think I've ever seen any of the later Pepe Le Pew shorts. I think it's kind of just a weak premise for a character, honestly. Like, on top of the problematic aspects, it's just not very like, it's just not very interesting.
Yeah, like he has a good design.
I was once told by an anti-natalist that they were infiltrating physicist circles to create a weapon that would murder the universe. That is the fucking buck wildest thing that you have told me so far in
like
this chat,
that's not gonna work. Also,
that's so funny. Like,
also that's like the most presumptuous anti-natalist position because
like
like
a billion levels of self-delusion going on there.
Yeah, like, I mean, there's also the additional thing of that if you have any level of principles, you generally isn't like a big point of antinatalism.
I don't want to.
The denial of choice.
I don't want to actually
sort of
talk about antinatalism in any serious capacity. I think it's a stupid philosophy and is worthy of nothing but ridicule, basically.
I disagree, but at the same time, I do think
it is also the fact that everyone that espouses it on the internet is incredibly obnoxious.
Like, I think that it's mostly the people who are most vocal about it on the internet. Like, it is definitely, like, internet antinatalists are the actual worst. Like, if you're talking about, like, an actual philosopher like Eugene Thacker or Ray Brazier...
people who are actual philosophers are not counted in this conversation. That's something that I cannot meaningfully comment on. Hello, Trey. Believe it or not, you have walked into a conversation that is mostly about Looney Tunes power rankings.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes. What is your opinion on the subject, Trey, man?
Let's see. Bugs Bunny is pretty high on the list. Although I'd argue that even though Daffy Duck is frequently placed like in a adversarial position to Bugs, that leads him to appear less powerful at first. If you take into account things like Duck Dodgers, then he would arguably be of equal stature.
That's a good point.
If not higher.
Like,
yeah.
Like, the Duck Dodgers canon is an interesting corollary to to the regular Looney Tunes stuff. I said earlier that we weren't counting latter-day innovations on the canon, but I suppose we can talk about Duck Dodgers. Like,
it's a good
because
joke.
that is.
I actually quite like the Duck Dodgers cartoon from the 2000s. It's really good.
Yeah, but it is actually based on like a running gag from like way earlier, but I can't remember when it was introduced.
What is?
The Duck Dodgers thing, because it is an explicit.
No.
It was a riff on Buck Rogers,
yeah,
which was a thing in the 50s.
We're talking about the actual Duck Dodgers cartoon from the 2000s.
Okay.
Do you ever watch any of that?
Like maybe an episode.
It's really good. Is Duck Dodgers a pope? But yeah, like the Duck Dodgers cartoon. Hey, randomly got the ukulele. All right.
Does that mean Darkwing Duck is the anti-pope?
That's not how that works. Like
no, that doesn't.
But
that's not quite it. Well, also there would be the whole thing. You'd have to take into account Donald Duck in this equation if you're bringing in.
No, don't say Donald Duck. Marone will say the thing again.
Donald Duck.
No, but like the Duck Dodgers cartoon was actually like a pretty good like adventure comedy series.
Donald Duck
had a pretty large supporting cast. Very fun episodic nature. Also, it introduced the world to Pretz Zips, which then became a real thing, and nobody acknowledges that the cartoon came up with that before they actually existed. You guys have seen Pretzel Thins.
Yeah.
Oh no.
They showed up in that cartoon before they were real, and I am convinced that somebody at some snack company was like, oh, well, we can just make this a thing.
Or, alternately, someone who wrote for them knew somebody who worked at a snack company.
That's an odd place to land, huh?
Yeah, that was fun.
Oh, also, yes, poor Porky Pig.
Yeah, Porky Pig's kind of weird. Like, I can tell you very few actual Porky Pig cartoons. There's the one.
Yeah, he was primarily Daffy Duck Street, comparatively speaking.
Oh, sorry, folks. Hopefully that was not like murderously loud on your end. Were it not for the laws of this land, we don't talk about.
Lunatics Unleashed is one of those things where it's a repressed memory for a reason.
We don't talk about.
Yeah, incidentally, it was the creators of it were the guys who also created SWAT Cats.
Yeah, and I guess that's kind of what they were banking on, but like.
But that didn't work out for them.
The thing about SWAT Cats is that it didn't have any established like prior franchise that it was riffing on, which made it so that people, what the hell, people were a little bit more accepting of like the idea that it was ridiculous in the vein of like fucking Street Sharks or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you know?
Yeah, and also on top of that, like.
It came during that
Part of the reason why it got canceled was that they actually started killing people off.
Yeah.
Not from the fucking no. I don't know if the Animaniacs count as Looney Tunes.
The Animaniacs. Why?
Oh, if the Animaniacs canon counts, then like
that's
well,
not
also
fair.
There's, but the adjacent things to Animaniacs, there was, oh god, was it? I can't remember where Go-Go Dodo came from, but like
that's a Porky Pig cartoon.
Go-Go Dodo is the strongest character in Looney Tunes.
I think Go-Go Dodo might be God.
Exactly. Like Michigan J Frog probably has a body count, but Go-Go Dodo is a dangerous reality warping force of nature.
Is fucking a strange.
Yes. Yeah. Oh,
I see your Go-Go.
I think.
I see your Go-Go Dodo, and I raise you Slappy Squirrel.
Slappy Squirrel is more like a side character.
Slappy Squirrel is the conceptual embodiment of the word boomer.
Now that's
But-
comedy.
But like, no, but I'm serious. The dodo from Porky and Wacky Land is very dangerous.
Yeah.
Like, extremely fucking dangerous. Like, there are. I seriously think that if you put any character in the rest of those shorts up against that thing, they'd be fucked.
I don't know who among the Looney Tunes would even stand a chance. Like, maybe Bugs Bunny on a particularly good day, but even then, I don't know.
Yeah, it's just. Tom Brokaw's a punk.
Who's Tom Brokaw again?
News anchor, isn't he?
Ah,
Former news anchor.
Yeah.
more like news anchor.
By which you mean GNUS?
Yeah. What?
You know, a GNU.
What's a GNU?
It's
A
not
new-
Linux, that's for sure.
They're a type of antelope. Spelled GNU.
So, I got this pitch for a hot new anthropomorphic comedy animal character. His name is Gary the GNU.
No, there actually
And
was a
listen.
new character.
Listen. Let me finish. His name is Gary the GNU, and his bit is that he tells you about how good Linux is. And that's it.
No.
That's the comedy.
Also, there was a character who was a new named New. In
No,
I
that's a
can't remember
Toho.
what cartoon. GNU.
That joke was underrated, thank you.
I
Yakety
do
yak?
I do actually remember Yakety Yak. It was
Yakety yak.
it was a show, where basically like the entire premise was based around that goddamn song.
What song?
Yakety Yak, Don't Talk Back. It was like a 50s pop song,
Huh.
novelty type thing.
Fascinating. Like Woolly Bully.
Yeah.
Do, do,
Like-
do, Woolly Bully.
Oh, it's a subtype of, or just another name for a wildebeest.
No.
Like if
I'm
you've
not
ever
gonna
seen a
watch
wildebeest.
the Chipmunk Adventure, Murr.
Are you gonna watch Alvin and the Chipmunks meet the Wolf Man?
No.
My little sister had a so her Halloween costume was dressing up as twins with a friend of hers from her gym that she does gymnastics at, and they both had matching plush toys of Alvin and whatever the name of the leader of the Chipettes was, but they cut them up so like they were partially dismembered.
Oh no.
Hmm.
Yeah. I think it was because they were trying to go for like a creepy twin angle thing, but I think it was just funny, you know.
Hmm. Remember that time when Alice started Chipette discourse on my server?
Chipette discourse.
Explain.
I don't actually
what-
remember what happened. I just remember that it was something that could be described as that.
What I struggle to imagine what kind of discourse can emerge from the female versions of Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Well, you see, Trey, therein lies the failure of your imagination. For discourse can be found anywhere if you dig. You should
Jesus
suck
wept.
on discourse, is what I say.
Jesus wept.
Is what I say to all my political opponents.
Jesus wept.
No, Shredney.
I feel like this is a reference.
Yeah, Rayo no Terasu by, Current 93 has a recurring refrain of David Tibet screaming, Jesus wept. over and over again.
Me when Jesus wept. So I feel like we've solved Looney Tunes power rankings then. It's
Yeah,
the dodo.
kinda.
Okay, but on a scale of 1 to 10, how effective is Mickey Mouse?
Well, that's an interesting question because those are different continuities and they kind of operate on different rules. I'm also much
they
less
do.
familiar
Absolutely,
with the.
yeah.
I'm much less familiar with the classic Disney short canon.
He's usually portrayed as a beset upon everyman.
Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, in the very early shorts. Yeah,
That's pretty funny considering the.
and I
current
mean, like,
status
and a
of the
prank,
corporation.
and like a prankster.
That one seems more fitting. I feel like.
But I mean, he doesn't have any especial, he's not an especially powerful character. He has wits, and that's like.
I have heard that
it.
and Murr just mentioned it. The new Disney shorts with Mickey are pretty good apparently.
Yeah, they're
Like
solid.
the like flat CGI ones in the
Yeah.
Like they got
would
this. Go on.
I would also the one that they put in front of Frozen, Get a Horse, I think it was called, as another recent highlight as far as Mickey goes.
Mickey Mouse canonically has a Keyblade. Okay, somebody who has played Kingdom Hearts, is that actually true?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. He's the king of, like, basically all the Disney multiverse or whatever.
I fucking hate that franchise. Makes
It
me
is-
angry.
It is gibberish. Like, even people who like it kind of
What's your
seem to
fucking
understand that it's gibberish.
gobbledygook? It's like
And, like,
Tsubasa
apparently-
Reservoir Chronicle without the coherence.
Yeah. Also, especially, like, apparently each game just makes it worse.
I think... I don't know. It is one of those things where I feel like Kingdom Hearts is one of those things if you're not plugged in early enough, you just will never get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe that's not true. I don't know.
I don't even necessarily feel like it strikes me as something that's, like, quote-unquote bad. It's just...
Oh, no, I didn't say that. I said it was
Baffling.
nonsense. I like plenty of things that are nonsense.
Yeah.
50 Cent in the Club. That's a song.
Go County.
There was also the video game Epic Mickey, which had the whole thing with...
liked that game.
Which had the whole thing with Oswald the Lucky Rabbit.
Oscar.
Oswald.
Yeah.
Not Oscar, sorry.
Yeah, I didn't play too much of it because shortly after we got it, my youngest brother broke our Wii. But I liked what I played of it. I liked the whole paint mechanic. Reminded me of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which I like that movie.
It's a good movie.
One of the 8 movies I've seen. Oh, okay, I'm dead.
Oof.
Would you like to join in, Trey?
I would.
Alright, let me... What am I doing?
Oh, hey, is it... Oh, Meron had his birthday a while back.
Yeah. Baby
I-
Noir.
But yeah, happy, very belated birthday then.
Gotta sign in to the Steam Friends thing.
Oh, God.
Goofy
Really?
and Donald, together with a Sora, were able to fight toe-to-toe with Sephiroth. I believe you, and I'm angry about it.
But it's not a good thing.
God.
Hello, Avra. Hello. We were talking about, at the very least, Looney Tunes power rankings, and we've officially decided that this is a solved science because the dodo from Porky in Wacky Land is easily just is just gone.
Why
basically.
no? It's like way more interesting than what we usually talk about on this fucking program.
Yeah, like, but like, I just remembered that character was like, that kind of dwarfs all of the others in comparison.
Alright, let's do this. I'm goofy, not stupid. It's
Again,
very bold of you to assume that the dodo does not also know it's in the cartoon.
Oh, the dodo definitely knows. That is part of why it is dangerous.
I want to be a cowboy, baby.
Ye, and dare I say, ha.
Can we all agree that Old Town Road is the most important thing that happened in music this year?
They got the horses in the back.
I mean,
I'm not saying
like
best.
mainstream music, yeah.
I'm saying most important.
I mean, it is one of the most important things in popular music. I will say that unironically.
Shredney, you're a nerd.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
I
like,
want to be a cowboy, baby.
It's like you can't really discuss all of.
That's why I called you a nerd, just because you're taking my mostly facetious statement very seriously because of your love of hold on, think of a band Shredney likes. Current 93.
Swans.
Swans.
I still need to hear the new Swans. I'll be probably doing that tomorrow. I did, however, listen to the new Thibault Sandra record earlier today, and it was very good. It was also, I'm pretty sure.
To
What?
I just said I listened to. Go on.
It's basically all synthesizers and some vocals, and various vocal manipulations, probably done with synthesizers. I mean, it's called Practical Electronics with Thibault Sandra, and there aren't any recognizable like guitars or acoustic instruments. There's usually like shit like bassoon and
Bassoon.
like electric bass and stuff on Thibault Sandra records, but it's just like all synths, and it's really quite good. I do feel like in some ways it could have been tightened up in places, but I don't know how you would do that because of the nature of how Thibault Sandra writes things.
The nature of sands. I'm sorry.
Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time.
I take forever to get to anything. Like, to be fair.
I also
The only
do.
thing I was remotely on time with
Oh shit.
this year. Well, there were one or two things.
Mer 100%ed Dicey Dungeons. That is not
Very
an
cool.
easy thing to do, given my understanding of that game.
Yeah, like, I hope that Thibault Sandra starts reissuing some of the Coil stuff, because everything is in limbo with Coil's work. And he contributed most heavily of anyone that's actually alive to those records.
I listened to the new Earl Sweatshirt record the other day.
Oh, isn't it like only 15 minutes long?
Yeah,
or
it's
something?
it's an EP. It's like
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
17 minutes or something. But
Mhm.
it's good. I
Okay.
still don't really understand the like screeching accordion beat on East, but you know.
I mean, it's
I like
just
the rest of it.
yeah.
You got a need for a crowbar?
I will take one if you
But
want.
also, what else did I listen to? I re-listened to Consumer Electronics Airless Space, which is as weird as the last time I listened to it, and still extremely good.
I wanted to talk about the music I listen to now.
Oh, I was just gonna round up what I listened to like
Okay.
literally an hour ago.
Okay.
Murder of JJ is still one of the best things that's been put out this year. Like, it's like the sister ray of spoken word and industrial techno. I don't know how else to explain it. Is really haunting and droll, yet like deadly serious at the same time.
I think Sicko Mode is way more influential. Sicko Mode came out last year.
That was last year.
Yeah. I will not dispute your claim. It's just that came out last year.
Yeah, it was very influential. It was just influential last year.
Well, I mean, it's influential going forward. It's just that's where it came out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And the third record I listened to was not from this year because I haven't been able to find any. I think I could probably listen to it like streaming on VKontakte or something.
The fuck is VKontakte?
VK is like Russian YouTube / Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh, that Russian site that I pirate all the ambient music I listen to.
I mean, exactly. That's where you find. Normally,
I thought it was just called VTK.
It's VK or VKontakte.
VKontakte. Yeah.
VKontakte.
I've heard good things about the new.
That's
the
got to be the first time that I have ever heard VK spoken about in English.
Zersk, I love you, but please listen to music sometimes.
Additional thing is, the album, I couldn't listen to Relentless because I didn't have I didn't have enough time because Relentless is 4 hours long. But I did listen to With Extreme Prejudice, which is from 2012. It's one of their albums. And, the first couple of tracks are, the first track is great. It has, some really cool synth stuff going on. But, there's, almost a lull. The stuff is, too conventionally, noise, power electronics-y. But the back half of the record is really good and really frightening.
Power electronics-y.
Yeah,
I can imagine that being a thing. It's just difficult for me to conceptualize.
I mean, there is some interesting stuff going on with that,
No, I mean the idea of something being
conventionally power electronics-y.
I am sure that is.
You have to listen to enough of it to know.
Yeah, I mean that's true of anything, but
you get the tropes after a while.
An interesting concept.
Oh yeah, it's sort of like saying, oh yeah, this is pretty, standard issue, death grind, there is such a thing as standard issue death grind. It is just an extremely funny thing to say.
Yeah. But I listened to is Marone still here? Because I finally listened to Let the Sun Talk by Mavi, and that's a good album.
Ooh.
One of the best albums that came out this year, maybe. Shout out to the guy that gave it half a star on Rate Your Music because he said it was in the vein of this exact conversation, too traditionally slums sceney.
What?
Slums, with all lowercase letters except for the U, in case you want to try Googling that later, is a collective from New York that have made a specific kind of rap music, somewhat popular in the past couple of years.
Okay.
Earl Sweatshirt stuff has lately been heavily influenced by them. I think probably the best known member is Mike, all capital letters.
Okay.
But I just thought it was funny, and also relevant to the thing we were just talking about.
But yeah, what Avra said there, trad DSBM and Go-Go's response, standard issue porno grind, both made me giggle.
Yeah.
So, Like,
Me when I'm...
and I can actually tell you what those things would sound like, too.
When I porno grind standard issue Lee.
Porno grind is just like slower, groovier gore grind with worse lyrics.
It's the worst.
And
probably
gore
the
grind...
worst name for any genre.
Oh yeah, I mean, because the lyrics are just pointlessly gross. I mean, gore grind already has pointlessly gross lyrics, but like porno grind just pushes it way into like...
can't... We have this conversation like every time. I just can't take these genre names seriously.
I mean, like, but with both of them, like, they're both known for like the thing with the... Like, they do the gurgle vocals, but they actually pitch them down on top of it, which is like a whole weird thing.
Defeat
that
500
comes from
elite monsters. Okay, cool.
And it comes from like this band Carcass, who were around in the 80s.
Shredney.
And they're still around, but they've
Shredney?
totally changed sound. So
the information you are offering...
Oh no!
Is...
Revival. Jesus Christ.
Is valuable, but I am not going to eternalize it. Because...
That is fair.
It just slips out of my head. Oh, I've been sent a gift on Steam. Let's see what this is about.
But actually Carcass are very legit. Check out their album Heartwork. It is one of the few melodic death metal albums I actually really like.
Are you talking to me, or just like in general?
I was talking to Gogo.
Oh,
if
okay.
Gogo hasn't listened to Carcass, but I feel like Gogo listens to Carcass. Like their stuff is genuinely like they have serious fucking chops.
So this is not relevant to this particular conversation, but I meant to ask when he joined and I forgot. Trey, how are you?
I'm doing okay.
That's good. Anything interesting going on in Treyland lately?
Looking for a job, and it's been going significantly better than usual.
That's good.
So, hopefully, there will be progress on that in the future.
Like, we are in your corner.
Yeah.
I have kind of abandoned traditional job search for the time being, because I don't really need one urgently, and I'm doing okay off of donations, even though I still always feel really weird about that, but that's like a whole conversation.
That's a different conversation, yeah. I got a call back from a therapist.
That's cool.
I just need to set an appointment. I need to call them back. Incidentally, I am pretty sure that the therapist in question is non-binary, which is me.
Can I? There we go. Was not letting me ping that for some reason.
Yeah.
What do we have here? Oh, you need these way more than I do.
I think I got them already, but I can double up.
They stack, so you should take more. And yeah. I have a shield, so like I don't need healing items really. I don't think. But yeah, that's good that we're all doing okay. I have been trying to like.
Yeah.
What's up? What's the matter?
No, I'll say it after. Okay. It's not relevant.
Okay. Like I have been trying to take slightly more time to just like exist in the world without doing because like and people who are much more successful with this kind of thing than I am will tell you this exact same thing. If you do stuff and you rely on like donations or Patreon subscriptions or anything like that to make your living, the temptation becomes like, well, since I can work from home, I should work like all the time.
Yes.
And like I have to try to kind of actively attempt to avoid burnout, and it's
it's the I actually recently heard that described with some of the LRR folks were doing a Q&A. It was talking about like you know, that whole thing of when you are, even remotely to some degree, your own boss, or you do work in a creative field, is like the whole thing of that you start seeing downtime as like, oh, I can do more stuff.
Yeah.
And that's a terrible idea. It's really bad for you.
Yeah. It's
And it's like, practice self-care.
it's
it may not
hard.
be, it is harder than you think it is at first, but you know, it helps a lot.
Always with the Doom Strider.
I think I might have fucked up. It's okay.
It's okay. If
but,
you need to fall back, don't feel bad about
Oh,
it.
but hey, one thing about records, I just realized that last time when we were talking about like you know, records that came out in the past decade that are really good. I think that came like we were talking about, you know, potential, you know, like end of decade type list things. I mentioned Paul Sandra earlier, but his previous album, The Golden Communion, may actually be up there for me as like one of the best albums of the decade, like hands down.
Cool.
And also, I mentioned Sutcliffe Jugend. I'd put The Hunger in there as well. Like, they're also both double CD sets and really long, which is kind of odd.
No,
is that
not feeling that joke at all.
I didn't hear the joke.
Stuart Sutcliffe Jugend.
Oh no, no, like that would be a very different band.
Yes. Yes, it would be. But yeah.
And we are out of there.
Yeah.
Lots of
Skeleton
rose
for Skeleton for album of the decade. Now that's a pick.
I think you could probably get better use out of taking 2.
All right.
I was not like, oh yeah, there's the new Have a Nice Life record coming out soon. Yeah, I'm like, I am curious about that.
What were you going to say about the Skeleton take?
Oh, I was like that when I first, like, I think that I first heard of Aesop Rock when I wouldn't have been able to appreciate his work at all.
That's fair.
Like, that was back, like, I found out when, like, I think I saw a review that Fantano did of Skeleton when it came out. And that's like, God, when was that?
Would have been like 2012? 2013?
Yeah, like,
I think. Maybe a little bit later. Hey, Go-Go, when did Skeleton come out? I've forgotten.
Good night, Mur.
Good night, Mur. Thank you.
Because I know Impossible Kid was 2016.
Yeah,
okay,
2012. Yeah, like, Impossible Kid is, like, yeah.
What?
More recent.
Oh, go to Bailey's room.
Yeah, like, yeah, I don't, yeah, I would have been like, yeah, 20 then. I don't think I was in the right frame of mind for Aesop Rock at the time.
I liked that album a lot when it came out, and I still like it a lot now.
Yeah. Yeah, like, the thing is, I kind of remember it because I'd been following Fantano for a while at that point, because I've actually followed him since, like, the first year or two that he was doing reviews. So, like, yeah, it's been a fucking journey. Yeah, that's weird to think about.
You know what else is weird to think about?
Life.
Looney Tunes Power Rankings.
Yeah. I mean, okay, let's remove the dodo from the equation.
Okay.
And also Michigan J Frog, because, again, Michigan J Frog.
Drop the Michigan brag.
It probably, like, I would say that Marvin the Martian is probably pretty far up there.
He does have a death laser, Can
But
Bugs
at the
Bunny...
same time,
Okay, hold on. Can Bugs Bunny wield a Keyblade? Let's talk about this.
oh no, Pepe Le Pew power level. We had a
Pepe
whole
Le Pew
conversation
power
about
level is
that.
subterranean. I hate Pepe Le Pew.
I mean, I do not have as negative feelings because I think I alluded to this earlier, but like in terms of character design, Pepe Le Pew is such a twink.
I'm gonna destroy you.
God.
Spiritually.
Can you imagine them
Atom by atom.
reimagining Pepe Le Pew
He's
as...
not. I don't think. I think that like Pepe is more casually like unpleasant, but not
I don't
necessarily-
want to talk about the ethics of Pepe Le Pew. I'm gonna
But
be
he
honest
is.
with
But
you
I think
guys.
he is much more easily thwarted.
I think
Then-
the biggest crime is that his cartoons just aren't very funny.
Yeah,
Like,
they just kind of have like a handful
the
of
joke.
gags that haven't aged well at all.
The joke is he hugged the cat and thinks it's skunk because stripe on tail. That's it.
Yes. And also is exaggeratedly stereotypically French.
That's the other joke, is that he's French, which is not like a very strong
character trait.
I liked that. I liked before you made the correction when you decided that just saying Pepe Le Pew was call-out worthy. Because the truth of the matter is that it is.
But then they were the one that brought it up again.
More like
Brought it back into
no,
conversation.
that was. Oh yeah, it was Opera actually. But like,
Yeah, just
no, like Pepe Le Pew is also out of the conversation because he's
Okay,
no,
fair.
and I don't like him.
Although, like, question, is the cat from those shorts in the conversation?
The cat is near the bottom by virtue of being like a traitless victim character.
And just like
Kind
you
of
know,
there.
Yeah, like
Look,
mostly
we're
kind of
trying
there
to
and,
figure
like,
it out, Zursk, because like the high power level characters are the ones that would be worthy to wield the Keyblade, is my hypothesis.
So Bugs
Oh,
absolutely would.
Oh, the tiny kitten that the big dog picks up and protects. Once again, it's the Pericles child thing going on there.
Yeah.
The dog, if I'm not mistaken,
Bugs
is
Bunny would
definitely
plug
up
his-
there.
Plug the laser up with his finger. Like that's a good point, and it's like
Yeah, like the problem with
the
also
problem.
with
The
Marvin,
problem is that Marvin the Martian only has that power if we count Michigan J. Frog, because it's again the child of Pericles situation.
Yeah, but I mean not just that, but I mean also he has all this technology, but he's a little bit like clueless,
That's true.
which is why I would say like I would say that Wile E. Coyote is wildly underrated. I mean, not just, you know, as a character, but also in terms of that he has all these bizarre, like, things that he just pulls out of nowhere and comes up with. And the thing is that
he's
if you want,
sponsored by the Acme Corporation. That's how.
So
is Wile E. Coyote a twink? No. Wile E. Coyote is an otter.
I hate that I can completely believe that that's a real term people use.
God.
It's like, you know, hairy like a bear, but slim.
What is with the weird animal metaphors?
That the
in,
animal metaphor
in the
thing
MLM
comes from
community?
a
I don't
from
understand it.
from a series of cartoons in the editorial section of I believe it was it The Advocate back in the 70s.
Gonna
and it was like
advocate for their deletion from the universe.
like there were a bunch of them that are no longer used, but like the one Bear is the one that caught on the most.
Is a skunk just like a hunk that should say shave or bathe more often?
That's unfair to like skunks normally smell fine.
I am aware, but I feel like that's what that would mean if it meant anything.
Oh yeah, most of the gay
Yeah,
archetypes
like
are
all the
animal based.
all the MLM archetypes are animals except Twink, which like it makes me think of the food, but I don't think that's actually where it's from.
Well, I mean,
Goddamn Twinkie.
it is. It is partly related to that. Like, you
Yeah.
know.
Oh. Oh.
God.
I'm so sorry.
Can of worms, can of worms.
I mean, you figured it out on your own. Actually, the thing is that apparently nobody's really sure where where Twink comes from.
I don't.
Is that it might not be from that origin. It might be related to twinkling, like fairy light.
I hate the universe. Everything, all slang is a conspiracy against me specifically.
Oh, apparently there's an old gay slang term called twang.
I'm gonna kill you. Death will come. Will come in your sleep and reap you.
Mm.
I
No.
don't.
Not sure if I'm into that.
I just don't. I don't like it.
Little nutritional value, sweet to the taste, and cream filled. I actually I actually knew that one. It was just like, but actually there are a bunch of other explanations. It's just that one's the funniest.
I hate it.
But wolf used to be like a kind of derisive term. Silver fox is generally complimentary.
Well, I thought Silver Fox was just like any old guy who was good.
Yeah, but it is generally like
my
it's like-
mom calls people Silver
oh
Foxes.
yeah.
And not to
definitely,
blow
but-
anybody's mind, my mother is not a gay man. Like, you know.
The Annoy Jane show.
Half the time it feels like it. If it's not Marone posting, like, send feet pics, it's this stuff.
But yeah, generally referring to someone as a fox is an older thing, but it's like most of the gay animal archetype stuff is just riffing on that sort of thing. A Zersk.
Well, Zersk already is gay slang. It's slang for Zersk.
Oh dear.
Can we use Zersk to mean, like, a Canadian? You can say that you're looking exclusively for Zersk, twinks, or bears, etc., etc. No?
Stream is 20% gayer than usual.
6 out of 10.
Shredney, I feel like you didn't acknowledge my very funny joke.
Could you repeat that? Is like
No.
searching for.
Fuck you.
Oh my god. Oh no, Gogo.
You're right, Zersk. That is kind of
Zersk Bear is kind of a cursed concept.
God damn it, these guys again. It's just like Zersk.
Respectable choice.
Everybody doing okay?
Yes, I just have you read
I'm reading the chat and I'm trying to figure out what you're referring to. And
I was just
responding to.
I was just giggling. They're just good daddies.
I see. Welcome to Good Daddies, home of the Good Daddies. May I take your order?
Who are the gayest metal band?
How are you doing, Trey?
I'm okay.
That's good.
Like, in terms of, being very gay and having massive cultural impact, I mean, well, actually not the whole band, but I mean, Judas Priest has Rob Halford.
That's also what I'd say is Judas Priest. Like,
but,
even
like,
as somebody on the outside, I think most people know
like,
that one.
Like, I'm gonna have to look up their name. But then that would also be applicable to Torch, who have like 2 or 3 gay members.
Uh-oh. Yeah, why was that monochrome for a second there? That was weird.
Now, Mincing Fury and Guttural Clamor of Queer Decay.
Have you ever thought about how, like, those shitty people made a straight pride flag and it's just black and white and looks like prison stripes? Which does feel like an appropriate metaphor, but...
For reasons that were 100% unintended.
Like, I think so, but I kind of wonder if maybe, like, whoever they hired to design it...
It was
told an inside job on them.
Yeah.
Some sabotage going on.
But yeah, like, I just mentioned is, like, in terms of, extremely gay bands, Mincing Fury and Guttural Clamor of Queer Decay are very,
Sorry, are Mincing Fury and Guttural Clamor individual people?
No, it's the part of their very long...
What? Freddy?
Yes. Yeah, hello?
You vanished for a second.
What? No, I mean... All I said was just that no, actually, those are just components of their very long name.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Alright.
I tried.
No, it's okay.
And they are also Czech, which is not surprising if you know anything about Czech death metal. Or
I don't. And to be honest, like, if you tell me, I probably won't remember. I did not know that Czechia had a large metal scene.
The Czech extreme metal scene, specifically the death metal grindcore scene, they're batshit raving insane in a good way.
I see.
One good example.
Now
is
here's my bigger question: is there a rival Slovak metal scene?
Not that I know of.
That's a shame.
But
did you know that Czechia people there were called Bohemians until like 100 years ago?
Yes, because
it was part of the Holy Roman Empire.
Because the Czech Republic and Slovakia were the Kingdom of Bohemia originally, yes. And that actually their languages only really diverged in the last 400 years. Which is kind of interesting.
Bohemia.
Yes, the Voynich manuscript was first attested to in the library of the Duke of Bohemia.
Rudolph II.
Yep.
Who was kind of widely known for being sort of a weirdo, which is why a lot
Yeah.
of people think that it might be fake because somebody might have forged
Yeah,
it
but
and
they've
sold it to him as like a. Well, not even fake, but just like it doesn't actually mean anything in particular.
Yeah, but
Is
they've
the going
tested the
theory.
ink, and it's over 200 years older than when it was first attested
Yeah,
to.
but
So if
like
it is a
I don't know how
forgery,
much you know about the kind of dating stuff that they do with those, but they're not like 100% reliable. It is
yeah, but
possible that the readings are messed up for any number of reasons. Like,
yeah, but at the same time, there's like a lot of other circumstantial evidence in the way that certain things are drawn in it, which point to it being from this particular
all right, I'm
part of
dead.
Italy.
No, you're thinking of that theory that guy put forward about a year ago, I think, aren't you?
A few years ago. It's
Yeah,
been like a thing.
that's all been conclusively disproven. Like, anytime somebody comes up with a thing about the Voynich manuscript, it's like it seems plausible for a while and then is more or less completely disproven.
It hasn't
like a year
been.
later.
It hasn't. It actually hasn't. It's still like right here on. It's like actually still cited on Wikipedia.
Well, that's because Wikipedia is a free encyclopedia that anybody can edit. I mean, that's literally their tagline. But,
Oh my god.
like, I do not believe that is currently, like, a pursued line of thought regarding the manuscript in question. Maybe I'm mistaken, but...
I think you are.
Wikipedia has shockingly high standards. That depends on the article.
I mean, it does, but this one
There's
actually has multiple
A
citations.
well-documented thing called a citation loop, where like,
Yeah, but in this case, it's not.
I like how fast Trey is.
I know what a citation loop is, Jane.
I know. I wasn't talking. I was just talking in general. But
This does not appear to be a citation loop.
well, maybe the guy that thought he disproved it turned out to be wrong.
That's quite possible.
Oh,
I mean,
I'm not comparing Wikipedia to other encyclopedias because it is much better than most of those.
Oh no.
The problems with Wikipedia are that a dedicated group of bad actors can easily fuck things up if they so desire. Obviously, that wouldn't be a problem with the Voynich manuscript in particular, but I'm just talking in general.
But
Wikipedia
yeah,
is inaccurate because it won't accept that I seduced God. Good point, Erisk. I don't know. Anyway,
yeah, and in
you're gone again.
Let's...
Shredney.
So the parchment is from 1404 to 1438, probably. But while it is likely that the ink was added very, very close to that date, they haven't officially confirmed that.
I see. I mean, either way, we still don't really know what it is, which is kind
Yeah,
of
I mean that's the probably the most
mystery.
interesting part about it is if it is legit from Italy during the Renaissance, what the fuck is it?
So, as we transition over quickly into Dead Cells, if you guys would like to contribute to the show, there are links to do that in the description. I wanted to mention that because
we're shifting over to what again?
Dead Cells. I will turn on the thing in a second, don't you worry.
Alrighty.
There you go. On God. Anyway, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Ugh.
Hmm. Hmm. So this is Huh. Okay, that's bizarre. Hmm. So what have you been up to today, Trey?
Mostly just playing Destiny 2 and otherwise existing, replying to emails.
That works. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can't all be super dynamic days,
Yeah.
but sometimes that's okay.
Yeah, sometimes that's better than the alternative.
Yeah.
Huh. Hmm. Huh. Apparently there was a novel by Lena Crone that was inspired by the Voynich manuscript.
Hmm.
I've read one of her works, Tainaron, which is real odd.
Yeah.
Tainaron, Mail from Another City, or Tainaron, Postia toi sesta Calpongista. And there's a person writing letters to somebody who they're living in a city of insects, insect people, and
Yeah.
the way that the insect people look at the world is very, very different from how humans look at the world.
Yeah.
And it is really neat. It is one of the better fantasy novels I've ever read. It's also included in its entirety, because it's a pretty short novel, in the collection The Weird, which was compiled by Jeff and Anne Vandermeer. Jeff Vandermeer being the guy who wrote the novel that Annihilation is based on. And is becoming progressively more well-known, despite previously being like this serious cult person when I first found out about him.
Yeah.
What
and
is
like
up, gamers?
I was just talking about Lena Crone's Tainaron, which is one of my favorite. It's one. It is one of my favorite fantasy novels.
I see.
It is about a person who is apparently maybe female, who is living in a city of insect people.
I'm one of those.
And it is fairly short, and the entirety of it is included in the Vandermeer's omnibus collection, The Weird, which I highly recommend if you can get your hands on it, from a library or something. It is gigantic, and it includes several short novels, actually,
There's almost certainly a copy in the Chicago library, but I've actually never been there, because it's like a
hike.
Yeah, it's like an hour away almost, I think, even by public transportation. It's down in the city proper. What was I going? Oh yeah, so while I was away, I had a thought. What's y'all's favorite historical mystery? Because we were talking about the Voynich manuscript, and that's one of those. You got one, Trey?
Mysteries. I'd have to think about it, because I'm not intimately familiar with a ton of them.
Do take your time. Why did Vine die?
Why did Vine
A
die?
riddle for the ages.
Because Twitter likes money, and Vine wasn't making any for them.
Which is funny because Twitter doesn't make a whole lot of money.
It doesn't make any, I think. Like,
I mean,
on
for a while it
literal
didn't make
level.
any. Yeah, exactly.
But,
it was a loss. Like, now that they have ads, there's some coming in.
Stupid thing to do to take down Vine. But anyway, like, yeah.
And basically the only reason why TikTok exists is the fact that Vine got shut down.
Yeah.
Like, in its current form anyway.
My probable... I hesitate to say favorite because that seems very morbid. But one that does kind of, like, fascinate with me, which I need to, like, look more in depth into, is the likelihood that an extremely high number of disappearances along the Appalachian Trail are one person's responsibility.
Alright, I was thinking, like, stuff like Stonehenge, but... Sure, we can talk about the Appalachian Trail abductor, I guess.
Yeah, there is a serial killer who may no longer be operating there because it's been over the course of like 30 years.
I mean, I used to live in the area. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Like,
he's just kind of a media fixture, like who, like,
and it's like
tabloids
they don't
who
know
run
how.
Shit, like, ooh, new evidence about the Appalachian Trail abductor, blah, 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 blah.
Like, because, like, and they don't know how many people he's done in.
Well,
like,
yeah, because it's the Appalachian Trail.
Yeah, and just people vanish, but there's, like, a pattern to some of them that highly suggests there's probably more than one, but there's probably one particular person who's responsible for a lot of them. Like, I mean, it's disturbing anyway, but a really bizarre amount.
Yeah.
And that's, like, horrible, but also fascinating.
I suppose so. I forgot to move the window out of the way of the chat.
Like,
Ever mentioned the Max Headroom incident, and I think
the Max Headroom incident is good.
Very well be one of mine as well.
Number stations.
I
Number
thought,
stations are fucking cool.
I
like
thought
they
we
know.
we pretty much knew what number stations
We
were,
kind
for the
of
most
know
part.
what they are, but what exactly
What they're
they were.
saying is a different matter. Like,
Yeah, and
like, what they're
exactly
being
to
used
whom
for,
the signals are being sent in for what purpose is a little more ambiguous.
like a no. Hold on for a second, guys. Ugh. Sorry, my ears acting up. Like, I know there's, like, we know for a fact that some of the, anti-communist rebels in Cuba used them during, like, the Cold War.
Yeah.
Like, but, like, the general consensus is that they're used for various espionage purposes. It's just, like, what specific, purposes those are is kind of a different question. And for anybody that is maybe not familiar, a number station is a shortwave radio frequency that will have, depending on the station, it can either be random or a scheduled interval. They'll have like a voice read
Quote unquote
off,
random.
Yeah, like
by
a
the way.
read off like lists of seemingly arbitrary numbers, which are
And occasionally words.
occasionally just random code words, which are
Yankee,
generally thought.
Hotel,
Yes,
Foxtrot.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry.
Like, yeah.
Indigo.
No,
Wilco
like, it's
created all the number stations.
Because
This is
yeah,
my new
like,
favorite conspiracy theory.
But yeah, like a Yankee Hotel Foxtrot is like one of the most famous like clips from, I can't remember what the name of that one is. It's like
It's the Lincolnshire Poacher, I think.
Yeah, I had forgotten the exact name of it, but the Lincolnshire Poacher. Yeah, it's one of them. And they're really eerie to listen to, because there's, like, no fucking context for them.
Well, yeah, that's true of anything.
And
like
occasionally they play, like, little snippets of music and shit, and it's
those specifically are thought to be, like transmission start and end signals.
Yeah,
like
that makes
in the
sense.
specific case of the Lincolnshire Poacher is named that because they play a random snippet of a recording of a traditional English folk song called that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But
there was
that
actually
doesn't mean
there was
any less
a
creepy.
A fake number station, like a hoax one that was made in like the mid 2000s, and it was called the Wabbit Blaster because it used a friggin' Looney Tunes clip as
That's pretty great.
its signal. It was like it was Yosemite Sam saying that he'd blow that rabbit to smithereens.
I really quickly have to use the restroom. I will be back in a moment.
Okay.
It always loops back.
It's always Looney Tunes in the end.
I was watching our old episode that had us doing a SNES game roulette, and I feel like it was really funny because like we were just joking around and saying stupid things about each of the games that we were playing. It'd be fun to do that again.
Yeah, we could probably. I would just need to get some stuff over here. I need to buy a new flash drive because the one I had does not work anymore. So I can like transfer things over to this computer. I would like to get slightly more diverse programming on the show because I feel like for a while we kind of just been doing various roguelikes and sometimes GeoGuessr.
Yeah.
What's that station? The most powerful Looney Tune? Yes. But, yeah. So, Trey.
So.
What's your favorite historical mystery?
Since we ended up mentioning Max Headroom, I think that one is honestly fascinating.
Yeah,
just because
Max
like
Headroom intriguing.
Yeah. Came out of nowhere. Guy in a mask comes as quickly as it goes, pretty much.
Yeah, like, there was a dude on Reddit a couple years ago who was like, I'm pretty sure I know the guy that did that, but I can't prove it. And he provided some reasonably compelling circumstantial evidence, but obviously that's different than proof, so we don't really know for sure.
Unverified for sure.
Yeah, like I think the actual explanation to for the Max Headroom thing is pretty simple, which was it was a guy fucking around. It's just like the question of like why that specifically is perhaps unanswerable.
Hello?
Hi.
Right.
So are we still on the subject of mysteries?
Yeah.
So honestly, I kind of like mysteries that leave me vaguely unsettled, but I can't really entirely place my finger on why.
Because you're you?
Yes, I mean, of course. No, but I'm saying I can't entirely place... No, what I mean is that they unsettle me, but not for reasons I can necessarily entirely put into words.
Yeah.
Like the Tamam Shud incident.
I think that's the one where like the guy, like
the body washed up on the
dude in Australia.
He
had like a random section of Persian poetry in his. Was it like in his shoe or something weird?
It was like in his hand, in his pocket, or something like that. Yeah. You know, like.
I think like I've read about that one, and I think that's one of those things where it would not be as big of a mystery if like the initial investigation hadn't been pretty badly bungled, from what I remember.
Yeah, and also he had a suitcase. Like I think like shackled to his hand or some
Yeah,
weird shit like that.
I think the consensus, in as much as there is one, is that the guy was like a spy or something.
Yeah, that's like basically yeah, but for whom and for what purpose is
Yeah. A guy that bought that one GYBE set tape and uploaded one song and disappeared. That's just somebody that gets off on being mysterious. That's what that is.
Godspeed you, Black Emperor.
yeah, the Tamam Shud case.
No, the thing that Opera mentioned.
I'm just saying like I was just making sure I was spelling it and pronouncing it
Yeah.
even remotely correctly. Yeah, it's a section from the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam. And
I will say, like, I think being unnerved by that one is pretty explicable. A guy died.
yeah, I mean, it's not the body. It's not the part about the body. It's the part about the bit from the Rubaiyat.
Oh, who knows? Like, if he actually was a spy, random shit gets made into code words and stuff all the time.
Yeah, but no, but I'm saying there's something. It literally just means it is finished in.
Yeah.
You know.
But like, who knows
like,
what the hell that was supposed to
yeah, but
indicate? And
see, Jane, you're not getting it. Is that knowing the explanation and entirely being able to intellectually understand it doesn't mean that it doesn't give me the fucking creeps.
Oh yeah, no, like I deliberately avoid reading about that kind of thing because I am in fact so easily creeped out.
Yeah, it's just
no, I get
it
you.
is.
I get you. Like
It
I'm just saying,
it is finished.
I think that is. It's one of those things. Is like, who knows?
Yeah, it's
King
just
Henry VIII.
weird as shit.
But there's a couple like that. But no, I didn't really mean like unsolved murders and shit like that. I meant just like
Weird
historical things. Like
just like why does this exist?
uh
Or did this come from?
yeah.
Like
why did
there's-
the Olmecs build a bunch of giant stone heads in the jungle?
yeah, and also the giant stone spheres in the same area.
Yeah, well, that's a different culture, I think. But
I know,
same,
that's a totally
same
different
general
culture.
idea. Yeah.
But it's in the same area. There are a bunch of different cultures that existed in that area that just kind of built weird big things and vanished.
Zersk's favorite mystery is where did the 0th century go?
Zersk, you're fired.
Fired? From what?
I don't know, but just you're fucking fired. Don't
Oh.
at me.
I like that Zersk uses the accented O's for the OO.
I mean, that is, like A plus OO.
Who's drinking a drink with ice in it? I hear the ice.
I have water.
I see.
Okay, like,
Water.
let me think of some weird enigmatic stuff. I mean, like, another one that always freaks me out is the Roanoke thing, but, like,
Yeah, I think the answer for that one is the one that people don't like to hear because it's not really that mysterious. I think they just went to go live with the Native Americans because the colony thing wasn't working out. Like, yeah.
I mean, I agree. Like, and in fact, there are accounts of natives who looked weirdly European all over that area. And same thing with, like, when there was, like, a Norwegian ship that crashed off the coast of, like, New Jersey, and then there were some Iroquois who inherited, like, blue eyes and understood Norwegian.
Yeah.
And weird shit like that. I mean, it's like, it's not particularly mysterious. The thing that's mysterious is why their buildings completely vanished and all that other shit. Like, that's a little more like, what?
I think that they might have tried to like salvage them for materials or something.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because like if they moved in with the native settlements a bit up the line, they wouldn't have really had a use for them anymore.
Yeah, definitely.
Ah heck, I'm on fire. Oh whoa.
Ricky Bobby, you're not on fire.
Me when I'm on fire. Oh whoa. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some other interesting stuff. Like I like the reason I came back to this and I came up on this in the first place is because I find undeciphered writing interesting.
Oh, that's always great. Like the Rongo Rongo script in Easter Island.
Wrote with on Easter Island, which is a very weird script in many respects.
And also probably was developed completely independently of like anything.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
I find that very cool. It's just that like
the one of the weirder features about it is that it was written in forget the name of the method, but like each line is written in alternating orientation. Like you read one line and then you flip it over and then
yeah, like that's the Boosvedron is I think it's what it's called. It means literally ox trail.
Yeah.
Or like when you have like you're tilling a field.
Bye, Avra.
Bye, Avra.
Did they flip it and reverse it?
Oh, it's a boost. Boostrophodon, rather. Boostrophodon.
What'd you call me?
That's left to right to left.
What'd you
writing.
call me?
Fuck off.
No.
Let's see what languages used it. Like there were a couple.
I think like Antique Cretan is like the example that's not that one.
Yeah. Like there's like very early Latin, Etruscan. Ancient Greece apparently used it.
Do you think the Etruscans feel like they don't get enough credit?
I think they would, yeah.
Cause like they were in Italy before the Romans were.
Yeah,
they
and
are
also
dead?
a lot of.
Look.
No, they weren't. Actually, the Etruscans survived fairly late. It's just that their culture kind of got assimilated by Rome. Although it already like was not as like at its peak by that point. But a lot of the stuff that's adopted from Greece was also adopted via the Etruscans, who like took off heavily after Greece. Like in fact, the whole Latin writing system is cribbed from the Etruscans.
Yeah.
Why
don't we call it the Etruscan alphabet when you think about it?
Interestingly enough, Hungarian runes sometimes used Boostrophodon
Hungarian
ordering.
is very peculiar.
Yeah.
Isn't it like it's got more in common with like Mongolian than most other European languages?
Yeah, well, specifically it is relatively distantly related, but like compared to everything else, very closely related to Finnish and Estonian. And it's more closely related to a bunch of languages that are spoken on like the Volga River and along the Don and things, and the Ob in Russia.
Mm-hmm.
Like these very small local languages.
Also, don't Hungarians traditionally like hold themselves to be Hunnic in some way?
Yeah, sort of. Like the Magyar were part of, like, Attila's
Yeah.
legions,
Yeah.
is generally the understanding. Okay, this is really weird. Interestingly enough, Hungarian runes are derived ultimately from Old Turkic writing, which is in turn derived from Sogdian, which comes from Syriac writing, which means it's ultimately from the same root as, like, Hebrew, English, and so many other writing systems. It's just, like, it's by an incredibly circuitous route.
You know what else is circuitous?
What?
Computers.
I mean, they are.
Also, this is one of the more alienating things I think we've discussed at length on the show. Which is a shame
I don't know, it's
because
cool.
I find it very interesting. I'm just not sure that anybody else does.
I think that Sorrow would probably really appreciate this. Like, she is super into this stuff.
That's true. You ever think about that, I might have brought this up on the show before, but there was that Norse inscription in the Hagia Sophia that was undeciphered for how many years? And they finally translated it, and it just says Halfdan was here.
That's not surprising. And
No,
also,
but
like,
it's really fucking funny.
it is pretty good. And also, like, the you do know why the Norse were there.
Yeah,
Like,
the Varangian Guard. I know about that.
the Varangian Guard are great. Like, they're fucking underrated.
Yeah, people don't know there were Vikings down in Greece doing.
They're the reason why the
Doing
Kievan
shit.
Rus is called the Kievan Rus, and why Russia is called Russia, because there was a Varangian guard named Rurik who became the fucking king of the, Slavs in the area.
Yes.
It's real wild. Like, the Russian Empire literally exists because Vikings working as mercenaries for the Byzantines.
Yeah.
Which
Although,
I love.
I don't know. I think there's some question of whether Rurik was like a real person or not. But that's
He may have
true
been
of,
mythical. He may
that's
have
true of like everybody in that area
Yeah.
during that period of history. So
Rurik. Like, I mean, he probably. This is odd. It's like.
okay.
It seems like Ladoga was attributed to being founded by him, but at the same time, he might have been an actual person. It's just that they merged a bunch of different things with him in mythical fashion.
Yeah.
Is what I'm getting here.
So like anyway, how are you doing, Trey?
I'm okay. Can't complain too much. A little tired,
Oh.
but
Yeah.
making my way.
Downtown?
Walking fast.
Faces past.
And I'm homebound.
I like that song.
It's a good one. It was one of my favorites when I was...
Yeah. Is Vanessa Carlton known for other music? I don't think I've ever heard any of her other songs.
I think that she does songwriting in addition to, being an artist herself. Not sure what other songs she's done, though.
Yeah, it's like she strikes me as the type, to be honest.
Yeah.
Kaspar Hauser.
Who's that?
Oh, that's one of the weirder mysteries.
What?
One of the weirder historical mysteries is that of the whole story of Kaspar Hauser. Kaspar Hauser was a young German man who claimed to have grown up in total isolation in a darkened cell. He made his weird claims, and the fact that he was stabbed by nobody sure who, for nobody sure what reason, caused, a lot of weird, arguments in, Germany at the time, and historically has been who the fuck was this guy for the last 200 years. He just kind of showed up in Bavaria.
Don't like that.
Like, he was wandering around the streets of Nuremberg with a letter.
Don't like that.
Yeah, it's like... Yeah, it's really strange.
This is literally a description of Zersk at the sea. Well, we've solved the mystery.
You mean that, like, Zersk's OCs have been leaking into reality? That's disturbing. Oh yeah, and there's also the theory that he may have been the bastard son of one of the Dukes of Baden.
You know. Oh, I'm dead.
I mean, same Zersk, same.
It'd be like that sometime.
Looney Tunes power rankings. Oh, all Zersk OCs. Here's a question. What if Zersk 2...
Zersk, the sequel.
Zersk, the sequel.
The sequel.
Zersk, oh, no. The squeakquel.
Oh no.
No!
Oh god, oh fuck.
Oh god, oh fuck.
Zersk is so good. Where is Zersk 2?
The developers haven't tried to milk all the money out of what
Zersk, you're in hot demand. Who was the developer of Zersk?
Zersk Studio LLC.
Hope Blizzard isn't developing me.
Yeah, for so many reasons. What engine does Zersk run on?
Havoc. It's not an engine, but it worked for the joke, so...
It's a physics engine, isn't it?
Yeah.
It works.
But I mean, that works.
Oh no.
Oh no. How could this happen to me?
What was that?
I just started talking in a weird cat voice.
I don't know if that was a cat voice. It was like some kind of strange accent from a mysterious land that time is
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've made my mistakes.
Meow. Stop fading away. Oh no! Fuck no! Oh god, I'm in pain now. Everything is fucking pain. I mean, it's not as bad as if it were like that "Welcome to My Life" song. Because if somebody started singing that, I'd have to fucking shoot them.
What about like "Animal I Have Become"?
I don't even remember that one, so it.
You remember "Animal I Have Become"? What about you, Trey? Do you remember?
Is that the "It's Been a While" song?
No.
Or is that just "It's Been a While"?
"Animal I Have Become" by 3 Days.
The biggest thing I associate "Animal I Have Become" with is AMVs, but particularly AMV fucking Rayman.
Yeah, like every character ever that needs to be like ironically portrayed as a badass has had an AMV with that song, including noted character in real life, Bernie Sanders.
Oh dear lord.
Burnimal I Have Become.
Bernie, bro, I have become.
No!
God.
God, no one wants that. No one wants that.
You
If
say
only
that.
you could see. Yeah. We had fun here. What's going on up here? That's weird. Wow. Anima I have become.
Anima I have become.
No!
Anime I have become.
Anime. I have.
God.
Somebody help me through this nightmare. I've just isekai'd myself.
Isekai. Anti-isekai club.
Oh no. Hentai isekai would be the worst premise ever.
No.
Why did you hear that?
I thought that's what you said.
That's not what he said.
God.
I mean, actually, those definitely exist.
You know,
God.
weirdly, I think such a thing might arguably have more integrity than many regular isekai anime.
Come to think of it, actually, yes.
It's like I say Kuro and you hear Guro.
No.
Jesus.
You do know that actually in the original formation that just means grotesque.
Yeah, it's also just like an adjective, right? It's one of those words.
It's like, eroguro nonsense.
Actually, even hentai, I think, can just mean like weird.
Well,
right?
hentai just means, it means odd, perverse in like a very general sense.
Yeah.
Like
It's
or
that.
a weird. Specifically, it means a weirdo.
It's just like hentai with a capital H. Is a different.
Yeah,
thing.
and it's also like the thing is, it's because like in Japan when they refer to stuff, like that is called in the West hentai, it's referred to just as H. Apparently, which is short for hentai,
H.
or hen, which just means strange. But yeah, hentai.
Hen is also a word in English. Do you know what it means in English?
What?
Hen.
Oh, you mean hen? Oh, no. No. No, shut up.
No,
well, then
it's my
hentai...
show. Fuck you.
But
well, lemonade was a popular drink.
And it still is.
And also, a hentai would be a tie that you give to a hen.
Semi-recent
because she is business hen.
Lyric.
Give the business hen a tie.
Where he says, "You know you've made it when your marriage worth millions. Lemonade was a popular drink, and it still is." And I think about that.
What is that from?
Life. It's from a recent Jay-Z song.
Oh God! What?
Do you get it?
What? Yes, I get it now. Okay, fuck that. God, no. God damn it, Jay.
I think it's funny.
I mean, it's funny, but it's just like, God damn it, Jay.
Sometimes he just raps dad jokes, and that's also fine.
Sure, yeah. Just, God damn it, Jay.
And it be like damn Daniel, the way the feds bring in the all-white vans through.
Oh my.
Is also an actual Jay-Z lyric.
I have to go and actually, listen to a clip of Animal I Have Become to understand this bullshit.
Also, if you make food, you should bring me some, Zersk.
Okay, I'll be... Food. Oh no. I mean, that is exactly the kind of food I would predict Zersk would eat, is food.
Zersk eats vegan pizza. Raw SpaghettiOs.
Oh my.
Please at least cook them first.
Yes.
Well,
anyway, I'll be back.
Technically speaking, I think you can eat them out of the can, but just because you can do things does not mean that you should.
Yeah. You're doing paleo? That's not what what that means. You fool! You monster! Gosh.
Starts to eat Purita cat chow. I'm doing keto.
No! Yo, like, you heard this thing where people will make, like, they make sandwiches, but instead of using bread, they use, like, a couple pieces of lettuce for on either end.
My sister says it's pretty solid.
That's some, like, I don't know. Like,
I mean,
I don't know about that.
Yeah, we had a burger place that was a couple of minutes away from my dorm, like, by walking, and they did that, where you could get, like, either a bun, or you could actually, like, get the burger prepared as it would be typically, but with lettuce wrapped around it.
It just seems odd.
Well, don't knock until you try it, I
guess. No, bun isn't a burger bun, you goof. Buzzers.
Bunnies. I've been able to play with a rabbit mask on for the past week or so in Destiny, and it is extremely good.
Bunny.
I love my bunny man.
That's relatable, Go-Go. I would also like a bunny.
Okay, I listened to a clip of Animal I Have Become.
Do you understand now?
I know that... Okay, like, so the bass line is pretty good, but I don't recognize it, and I think that's because when I was a teenager, I had taste.
Sorry, are you implying that Animal I Have Become isn't the only song? Because it is.
It's just, like...
What the hell is music?
Just
there is only Animal
also,
I Have
like,
Become
okay,
and
like,
Yakety Yak.
Like,
don't come back.
Question. Based on what you heard, you would what would you describe the vibe of that song as?
Extremely cheesy early 2000s AMVs.
Okay, but like what's the tone?
Melodramatic angst.
I suppose, like, to me it always sounded like walkout music, like for fucking WWE or something. And
I mean, because it was used as that.
It probably makes sense. But like, I learned a few weeks ago that the song is about I forget the guy's name, but the
OxyContin
lead singer,
addiction.
Yeah,
yes.
his OxyContin addiction. It's just
and being a total asshole while he was on drugs.
It just doesn't really have that vibe.
For me, the quintessential goddamn walkout song is the one that Randy Orton uses about hearing voices in his head.
Oh, Down with the Sickness?
No. It's like it's another one. It goes, I hear voices in my head. They talk to me. They understand.
Oh, I think I've heard that.
I've heard that before. I'm pretty sure.
But
I'm pretty sure the song title is Voices. I could not tell you for the life of me who it is by.
I feel like if I were gonna have like WWE or Raw walkout music, I think I would go with like fucking early 2000s deathcore, just to kind of bridge the gap between my pretentious, awful music taste and like something sufficiently chuggy.
Yeah.
I'm going to commission Bauer to make Harlem Shake 2 when I become a professional wrestler.
Just when you step, into the ring, the drop hits.
You know, like my rival heel is doing promo, and then a record scratch plays, and then it's con los terrorista.
It's like, yeah, like, just, I don't know.
I don't know. I actually like Animal. I have become, but anyway.
I don't hate it. It's just that it's like
it is
that
very
weird...
cheesy.
It's very what?
Cheesy.
Yes, especially the chorus. Like, and well, no, mainly it's just the vocals. Period are the cheesiest part of the song.
Yeah, like it's weird that it's supposed to be serious because to me, like if I ever start going to the gym regularly or something, like that's going on the playlist.
It's gym music,
like next to some DMX. It's just like an odd tonal thing they got going on there.
Yeah, like,
well,
I
first
mean,
we're gonna rock.
The bass line feels like, you know, like it could work with, and that's like the main riff of the song is like, feels like it could be something pretty dark. It's just that, like, and the lyrics are kind of grim, but it's like the whole tone of everything else in the song, like the guitar tone, the way that the chorus progresses, feels very not.
Yeah, it's just kind of...
It undermines itself.
It's a weird one. I do like the song, though.
And like then we're gonna roll.
Yeah. But I decided, like, long ago, that if I ever needed walkout music, God forbid, it would be, Throw the Water on 'Em by Busta Rhymes.
Actually, I'm trying to think.
Which is the one where he says that it's getting hot up in here, so throw the water on 'em. It is like a purely hypothetical situation because I am the platonic opposite of an athlete, but you know.
Yeah. Okay. Question: If you needed a Toho style battle, what song would be the basis for it?
Fuck, that's a good question. I need to think about that.
'Cause I know mine.
You can say yours, and then if Trey has one in mind, then he.
Do I know enough about Toho to be able to say this with confidence?
It's like a boss battle theme.
Yeah, exactly. Like it would be an arrangement of Seeming's Feral from the album Soul.
Right, you've said that before. I forgot about that.
Yeah, like just, you know, because, you know, and I bare my teeth 'cause your talk ain't my talk, you can call me, etc., etc. Fucking great song.
For me, it would probably be The Island by Pendulum, Part 1.
I've heard that name before.
Pendulum were like the one drum and bass group that got like actually popular. Yeah.
Yeah.
With Tarantula, which I think would not be a bad choice for this question, although it's not my personal pick.
Yeah. But yeah, kind of has that sort of like. Honestly, even though they started off as like a drum and bass group, they later like sort of ended up having like a hybrid style between D&B and then like rock, liquid B&B, and dubstep, like all rolled into one weird thing.
Yeah, Pendulum are one of those groups that people seem to really dislike for no reason. I've always thought they were fine.
I dug their work.
I was just kind of reminded of how Spring-Heeled Jack went from being a DMB group to a free jazz group.
That's an interesting transition.
Yeah, like, and with the same lineup too, if I'm not mistaken. Like, they added members, but like, I think the core two guys were the same.
I'm really racking my brain about this question. I don't know if I have a good answer.
Like, my other answer... Well, actually, no. You know what my... Actually, now that I think about it, you know what my WWE walkout music would be?
What would it be?
Death Grips, I've Seen Footage.
That's a good
say
choice,
no,
Just like, you fucking strut.
Or, Tachyon. There's a couple of Death Grip songs that would make good ones.
Like
Tachyon would be good.
Yeah, like, oh god, they're like, geez. If you wanted to like really fuck with people, like Hothead, because like it just begins with just it begins basically as breakcore, like really psychotic breakcore, and then it settles into a fucking groove.
That's not like walkout music has to be like.
No, I'm talking when like you burst through a fucking screen when that happens, like, or like some kind of, you know, like a tarp or something, like rip through it, and then like the song part of the song happens when you're like walking down.
I see.
This conversation is reminding me of one time when a band that actually used to be counted as one of my favorites, Does It Offend You? Yeah. On one of their songs on their second album, they sample like a entire like speech that Paul Heyman, the wrestling promoter, did during like a documentary thing or whatever, and like built the entire song around it, having him basically go "fuck you, you're wrong," "fuck you, we're right," over and over again. Yeah.
Oh, I did not see Caro Benito doing I've Seen Footage live, but I'm intrigued.
I have seen that clip, actually. It is funny, is the word I would use to describe it.
I mean, probably at least partly intentionally.
Yeah, I imagine so.
Like, I mean, like, you know, sincere...
Like, I guess this most recent tour, they did, like, a novelty cover at each tour stop. They did I've Seen Footage at one, and another one they did Baby Shark.
That's pretty good. I think that part of it is also because, like, Caro Benito, because of that whole weird internet fame thing, like, there's this weird overlap between hardcore KKB fans and hardcore Death Grips fans that doesn't make any sense.
I think that is one of the few musical things that Anthony Fantano is entirely responsible for.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, not entirely responsible for,
I
but
don't know.
He contributed to it. It's partly his fault.
Yeah.
I mean, but it is like, yeah, I mean, that's part of the meme, but like...
Yeah.
It is like a weird internet thing.
No, I'm not trying to discredit either band. I'm just saying, like, they don't have very much in common.
Oh, no. I mean, yeah. Like, I mean, aside from, again, being very internet.
Yeah.
Is my point.
That's all I meant.
Like, that would also be true of, like, God, what are some good examples of, like, bands that just, like, the only thing that is, like, the overlap between them is the meme potential? But, like, you can definitely...
really am struggling with this, like, what would my boss theme question.
Yeah.
Fucking, like... I don't know. Because boss music has a different energy than simple, like, walkout music, you know? Those are different things.
Oh, one really good, like, walkout thing, which could also, in theory, work as a boss theme, if, you know, like, you leaned more into the kind of, you know, like, Flowey from Undertale vibe of it, is Swan's single from 1985, Time is Money. Which literally has a nail gun for percussion.
What I know of Swans, they don't seem like that sort of group, but maybe...
It's just like, it's from their... it is maybe their most straightforwardly industrial track, and it's
Remember, though, this is Shred Me we are dealing with.
But I'm saying it's, like, it's explicitly, you know, like, the kind of weird mindfuck boss kind of thing is, like, you know, that kind of, like that ratcheting sort of clunking sound to it has a certain, you know, and just is pure aggression.
Yeah.
With, like...
I'm trying to remember who produced Steppin' Up from MIA's, like, third album. Well, yeah, from her third album, because, like, it's got a similar vibe to it where it's basically built entirely around jackhammer sounds.
Whoa. Yeah.
Would that have been pre or like would that have been during or after her whole partnership with Diplo?
I think it might have been like immediately afterward because they were going through some shit.
Yeah.
Like they.
Yeah, those two don't get along anymore. That's like a whole thing, right?
I think that they like made up but haven't like done anything professionally since like the early days of both of their careers. But
yeah, that's sort of like the whole thing with what's her face, who sang a bunch of songs for the Twin Peaks soundtrack, who for like years was not.
I got an answer for the boss music question.
Okay, good.
If you're going for like gravitas, I feel like Midnight in a Perfect World by DJ Shadow.
Ooh.
You know that one.
I think, like, I haven't heard it in a long time.
You're killing me here, Shredney. It's a perfect song.
I'm gonna like leap into the other room and into the bathroom and play it on my phone.
Okay. I will never be upset about anyone leaving to listen to Midnight in a Perfect World. It's a very good song.
She made it with Rusko.
Rusko? Okay, I don't think I know who that is.
He makes, like, UK garage music, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, so dubstep, drum and bass, that kind of thing. Also squee, according to his Wikipedia.
Squee! That's a genre I forgot existed. Do you know what that is?
A musical style with origin in Sweden and Finland, combines simple synth and chiptune leads and bass lines with funk, R&B, or soul-like rhythms, overall rendering a stripped-down, funky sound.
It was like chiptune funk. It was a very strange genre with a really stupid name. A thing, for whatever reason, that squee artists liked to do was issue songs on flexidiscs.
Yeah.
Like, it's just an odd little scene that kind of came and went.
Yeah.
About a decade ago, I think.
Yeah, late 2000s.
Yeah, I liked some of that stuff. And it was one of those ones where, like, this happened with, like, ska sometimes, too, but, like, a lot of the, like, album and song titles were really goofy. Like, one of the big albums in the genre was called Squee Refrigerator. Just
nice.
It was very, very peculiar.
Yeah. I mean, silly stuff like that can be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it unfortunately kind of has a bad reputation nowadays, but people do that with, like, chill wave and stuff, too, and it sort of annoys me there.
Okay, I recognized it from the opening bars.
Yeah.
Like...
What? Shredney?
Yes?
What'd you say?
Hello?
What'd you say?
I said I recognized it from the opening bars and was like, oh.
Yeah.
Like, oh. Like, yes, I knew it. Yeah, and I was like, I get exactly what you're going for here.
Yeah.
It's like, that's an interesting one. Like,
actually, I think you could pick like a good half of songs on that album, and you go for that same mood. Man, Introducing is like a really good album.
Yeah. I'm also a fan of The Mountain Will Fall.
The Mountain Will Fall is very good. He's got a new one coming out soon.
Yeah.
With a really bad cover, in my opinion, but that's okay. Sure reminds me, Clams Casino released an album like yesterday. I should listen to that. It's been a while since he last put anything out.
I'm looking at this cover, and it does seem like it's treading into the same sort of territory that The Less You Know, The Better did.
Yeah, which isn't, like, probably the worst Shadow album. I think that's pretty uncontroversial to say.
I do like the cover on that one a lot, though.
Yeah, like, it's interesting. I hope he doesn't go for, like, the whole,
Phones are bad.
Yeah, like, because that was kind of what Less You Know was, except instead of phones are bad, it was music is bad now.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Piccolo Concierge outfit. That's an interesting name. But, who knows? Like, I hope it's more along the lines of Mountain Will Fall musically, because Mountain Will Fall is a very good album.
I enjoyed it a lot. It was actually my first time hearing any of his work, even though I felt like I should have recognized the name already.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I was exposed to him in general and that album through WRFL, and checked it out because I recognized Run the Jewels.
Yeah, they are on that album.
Yeah, they're on the next one too.
They are scheduled to be. I think there's the thing he's doing with that one is that it's a double disc. One's got collaborative with vocals, and the other one is purely instrumental.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting tack to take. Fredney, you still there?
Oh yeah, I'm still there. Here. Words.
Caro Bonito is just death grips for weebs. That's
That's not entirely wrong, but
I don't know about that one. I actually sort of don't get it.
Well, the thing about it is that, like, with their album that they put out most recently, they really did kind of go for like a heavier sort of like more ridiculous I don't know what I would call it, like hardcore folk type stuff, like just like combining like electronics and weird noise punk things with
they apparently
with like some elements of their older, like, more pop focused sound that they had, you know.
Yeah,
just,
like you must
drawing
understand.
from all kinds of parts of the bank.
Yeah, like the thing that I know Caro Bonito for is that song about flamingos. So
yeah.
I'm gonna need to reload the stream really quickly.
Okay.
So I'll be back in a sec.
All right. How many shrimps would you have to eat before your skin turned pink?
Eat too much and you'll get sick. Shrimps are pretty rich.
Is that song like a metaphor, or is it just literally about shrimp?
I think that it's pretty much what you see is what you get there.
Fair enough.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Honestly, that's probably part of the biggest part of its charm.
Hi again. Hey, Shredney.
Yes?
Did you know that November has come by the Gorillas? Did you know?
No.
You didn't? Death by curse.
Remember the 7th of November.
That's today.
The gunpowder treason and plot.
Something started today.
I see no reason why gunpowder treason should ever be forgot.
Yeah. Alright.
Except that was 2 days ago. I don't know what happened today.
That was, that was, election day.
November 5th. Gunpowder treason in America.
No, I'm saying that Guy
Wait,
Fawkes
hold
Day
up, hold
landed
up.
on.
People trash talk the gorillas now? Are people starting to push like a gorillas are overrated narrative?
Oh,
Well, I think it's because the most recent album
that's
was it.
extremely annoying. If so, I didn't listen to their most recent one, but like that's not how music works. Like that doesn't make. Even if you think that that's true, that doesn't make their old music worse. Like, people are weird.
It really doesn't.
I like the Gorillaz. Demon Days is like one of my favorite albums from that time period.
My first project of theirs that I really fell in love with was Plastic Beach. Demon Days is their best work.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I liked Humans, but it didn't stick with me. The Now was pretty good.
Mm-hmm. I didn't actually listen to Humans. That was like during that period of time where I just wasn't listening to music. I should go back and listen to that at some point. I liked the singles off of it.
It's kind of all over the place, but that's kind of part of its charm.
That's how the Gorillaz are.
Yeah.
It's got, I mean, Demon Days has both. Was November Has Come Demon Days?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got that. It's got fire coming out the monkey's head on it. That's two very different pieces of music.
Also, Dare and Feel Good Inc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
What's up, Shredney?
Not much. What are you up to? Other than what you're currently doing.
Trying to transition to Isaac, but the game's not wanting to open. There we go.
Curious.
Ah, there it is.
I'm gonna start this in a second. I'm going to go get a drink first, though.
Okie doke.
So I'll be right back. Don't go nowhere.
I'm gonna go somewhere.
Oh. Hmm. Trey. Oh, wait. Trey, have you listened to any interesting albums lately?
Not super recently, although, what has been happening lately? Habit. I mentioned that the Anamanaguchi album came out, and it's good.
Oh, neat.
Let's see, what else is there? One artist that I really enjoy named Casbo, put out his first single in about a year or so. And I was happy to hear that he was back because he actually announced a couple of months ago that he had been suffering from hearing loss and actually had to cancel some of his shows that he was doing on a tour that that he was doing. So it's good to have him back. Yeah, there's that, and I've been enjoying some of the singles from Jax Jones's most recent record because I went to see him as an opener for Zed, and I think he's talented. He makes fun house music.
Wow. Hello.
Ugh.
Hello.
Not to worry, everybody. I am back.
I don't know if the stream is showing the game just yet.
It is not. That's peculiar.
Odd.
Let me try, getting rid of this and adding a new one.
That is... The story behind Anamanaguchi's name is really odd.
Armani, Prada, Gucci boys.
Because they were all interning
What are
with
some
those...
recent albums that you know are not that great, but you still enjoy way too much? Huh.
Ooh.
I don't know what I'd say, because, most of the stuff that I enjoy has been pretty much genuine, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
I don't think go-go means, irony value. I think it's just,
not disingenuous, just,
what is some stuff you like that people would say is, a quote-unquote guilty pleasure?
Which it isn't, really at all if you have no guilt about those sort of things.
Yeah, but it's the...
Yeah.
The concept has some merit, I think.
I mean, I guess that I could say Slushy, because I haven't listened to, his most recent project that he came out with, but he's very much an electronic music producer that makes stuff that's, anime inspired and has a very Dayglow sort of presentation about him, and has collaborated with OK and Marshmallow in the past, so he's got that kind of image to him, but I think he's a good producer and he makes stuff that is fun, so can't really find myself being I can't stand this. It's enjoyable.
The other way to take the question is what are some things where how you feel about it differs from the critical consensus? Which I don't know.
I don't know. The funny thing is, if I wanted to be cheeky, I could say, well, I know how Pitchfork feels about the new clipping.
That's true, but I think that the Pitchfork score is actually in the minority there.
It really is.
I think most people really like that album.
Yeah, I've noticed that a lot of people have, and actually more and more people that I was watching reading reviews actually seemed to get what it was going for, and I was oh, thank God.
I think a lot of people didn't YBN Corday's debut album, but I thought it was pretty good. It's Lost Boy. It is very, you know, like, oh, I don't make mumble rap. I make real hip-hop.
Which is a little...
Kind of that. Like, it doesn't say anything like that, but there is kind of that sort of undercurrent a little bit, which I think is kind of where some of the dislike came from.
Yeah, that and him showing up on that Logic album, which was,
Oh, I don't know that people even know that happened. Like...
Really?
Confession, like, Logic's fan base is kind of weirdly,
Insular?
Yeah. Like, is one of those musicians.
Inseller.
Oh, no!
No, that's Juice WRLD.
Ah! God.
Oh, actually, Designer. I think Designer is a lot more talented than people give him credit for.
That's fair.
Yeah. Actually, like, a lot of those guys, like Lil Nas X is another one where I think people have kind of tried to already peg him as a one-hit wonder, and I think he's gonna have... Like, he's got more going for him than that.
Yeah.
Like, you know...
yeah.
He's not fucking, I don't know, the Jizza, but he's got some good stuff. Doesn't he technically have 2 hits at this point? Yeah, but one hit wonder is more of like a cultural thing. But yeah, Panini charted too.
Oh, Panini charted high.
Yeah, it went to like number 5 or 6 or something, I think.
Yeah, and Rodeo got pretty high too.
Well, not Rodeo. I think topped out at like number 30 or something, which is. I
think it topped out in like the 20s, but like it's fair enough. But still, that's a pretty decent success.
Panini, and Panini does not lean on the country thing, which I think is important.
Yeah.
Hey Panini, don't you
be a meanie?
Be a meanie, yeah.
Can we just point out that like he went from doing Old Town Road, which is Old Town Road, to having another pop hit, well, pop / like rap, I guess, hit that is ostensibly written from the perspective of the title character of Cartoon Network's 2007 show Chowder.
Yeah. It's a peculiar one.
And samples, well, interpolates goddamn Nirvana.
Is there a Nirvana sample on that song?
Or interpolate.
Say to me what you want from me is the hook from Nirvana's In Bloom.
Huh.
He's the one.
Yeah, I guess
all that pretty songs
and he likes to sing. Did you know that
with permission as well?
Huh.
Like the weird thing about that song is that like while it's very clearly about a character, it was said to have been inspired in like sort of a lighthearted dig at Dylan Carlson of Earth.
The post metal, or not post metal, but the
band? Like the drone doom band. Yes, because Kurt Cobain actually sang on their demo. On the song Divine
This means that in a very indirect way we have the guy from Earth to thank for Panini by Lil Nas X, which is a strange thought.
That's really a wild connection.
Little bit. Little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, like...
That's a weird one.
Incidentally, while I've heard less than stellar things about some of the most recent Earth stuff, apparently his solo stuff as Dr. Carlson Albion has been really good.
I forgot this existed. Sorry. We've got an unusual Isaac item that I haven't gotten in a long time.
But yeah, like, apparently his solo work under the moniker Dr. Carlson Albion has been really good. I've heard some of it. It's like, it is very drony, but it's like, you know, it's hypnotic.
Yeah.
which is kind of the point. And, you know, a lot more so I've heard than their recent work.
I actually just remembered, going back to me mentioning Designer a little bit ago. He left Good Music and is dropping something like tomorrow, I think.
Huh. Interesting.
So that'll be interesting.
What's his new label?
I think he's just going independent for the time being.
Good on him.
Like, he got a fair amount of cash from when he did that sponsorship for the Las Vegas hockey team, whose name I cannot remember offhand.
Huh.
The Knights?
The Knights, yeah, the Las Vegas Knights. I think that's it. That sounds right.
Can you pick up that weird pile of hearts?
What?
Over there?
Well, that's just 2 red hearts.
Yeah, but the fact that they're together just kind of amuses me.
Yeah, no, I can't pick them up.
Grisly looking.
I don't have any red heart containers right now.
Oh.
Unfortunately.
Hmm.
But yeah, like I like Designer. So.
I do not fully understand the mechanics of this game.
It's all right. I mean, you're just here to we're all just here for the commentary, basically.
To vibe.
Yeah, to vibe, and also vibe check.
Vibe check.
What does vibe checking even mean?
Oh,
decking somebody in the head.
You don't know? Here, allow me to demonstrate.
Oh no.
And then I beat you to death with a shoe.
Like, I know that vibing and getting vibed mean 2 completely different things, and I've explained the latter.
No, but vibe, like, it started as just, like, shorthand for, like, how's everybody feeling? And somehow it evolved into, like, a forewarning before you do something unpleasant. And it is that now, like, specified further into what you yell before you hit someone in the head. It's had a very strange etymological journey. But yeah,
so
you just scream vibe check and then you smack
so
them on the mic.
little slugger gonna be vibe check. Yeah.
Sure.
It's like vibe check, womp.
Yeah.
Just the paranoia agent vibe check.
I don't know if I like that, Shredney.
No, I mean, that was the reference I was making.
I know, I just don't know if I like it.
Like, you know, it's just the opening episode of Paranoia Agent, except that instead, like, Little Slugger or Shonen Bat just screams vibe check before whacking the cartoonist in the head. Then it really would be believably a youth.
Shredney. This isn't it.
This is very much it. But not This Is It by The Strokes.
That's an album.
Yeah.
I've never listened to that album. I don't think I've ever heard a single Strokes song.
I have heard a couple of Strokes songs and they're fine.
Or,
they're like...
shit, that one was from Room on Fire, I'm dumb.
But like, the Strokes
Trey,
are
you
like
fucked
one of
up,
those...
and now you must be murdered.
Vibe check.
Vibe check.
Rag and Bone Man.
That's a musician that my oldest younger brother really likes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Who?
I listened to a song that Calvin Harris made with him today.
It's an English singer. Rag and Bone
what's
Man.
his name? Oh, Rag and Bone Man. Yeah, I know of him.
Yeah.
I have heard very little of his music. Like, he has a good, powerful voice.
Yes.
But like, I'm not super familiar with him.
I believe
otherwise.
he also has a large beard. It's not Ragged Boomer, goodness gracious.
No,
a
and
Rag
also,
and Bone Man.
Yeah, like Rag and Bone Man. It's a term for somebody who collects odds and ends and sells them.
Yeah.
I said so because we fought the Ragman.
Yeah.
He's the Ragman.
Ragman.
Hey, Mr. Ragman, Ragman, rag me a rag, 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 rag.
Oh no.
Man me a rag.
Man me a rag. Goodness gracious. I got the needle tears. You don't often start with the soy milk item. It's kind of a pain in the rear end. I know, I'm talking about the game, which is forbidden, but...
Thou shalt not talk about the game.
The first rule of video game is don't talk about video game.
You don't want to be labeled a gamer, do you?
Ew.
I mean...
Gamer. Well,
like,
I got the 9-inch nails, and now I'm spitting tiny nails out of my face, so this is pretty fun.
Just how deep do you believe?
Oh no. You know, like, whenever you'd previously talked about Animal I Have Become, I immediately thought of the lyrics to Closer, and was like, no, that's not
a different song. Very different song.
That's a very different song.
A better one.
Yes! Yes! I mean, even with the terrible lyrics, it's, you know, like, I'm just remembering something that Millie said was like, you know, Trent Reznor's music would just be infinitely better if he didn't suck at lyrics. And he kind of does.
I don't really like
are we really listening to 9-inch Nails for the lyrical content?
I mean, no, but also it would help.
Yeah, but
I mean, it's like
sometimes you just have to scream head like a hole and have it be for the pure energy of it, not necessarily.
I mean, it's like
not necessarily for the emotional weight of saying bow down before the one you serve.
I mean, the problem is, I think more is like that in terms of like really good, you know, sort of industrial leaning acts, is like, while some of them do have utterly god-awful lyrics, some of them really don't. Like, Fetus, for as over-the-top as his lyrics are.
Sorry, what's this person's name?
Fetus.
Okay.
His actual name is J.G. Thurwell, or Jim Thurwell.
I misheard what you said. Don't worry about it.
Okay. But yeah, Fetus, like, his lyrics, for as over-the-top as they are like, really well-written and really funny. And occasionally oddly poignant.
Yeah, but don't people like 9-inch Nails because they're like they've got the industrial sound, but they're also kind of a bit accessible.
Yeah, they're accessible and kind of like the in the broad stroke sense, emo.
Yeah.
But then again, they're also like.
Hey, speaking of emo, you guys hear My Chemical Romance got back together?
Yeah.
What the fuck is up with that?
It's 2019. Killjoys make some noise.
Yeah. I don't know that much about MCR, but I really like Teenagers, which is a great song.
There's a very good song.
Yeah. Their last album that they put out before the breakup was really good.
Am I thinking of a different band, or did one of them not come out as transgender?
Gerard Way, I thought.
Yeah, Gerard is non-binary.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But I think he still is cool with his pronouns in addition to they them. So.
Yeah.
Only know MCR from Need for Speed. They have a song in one of the Need for Speed games.
Interesting.
That wouldn't surprise me too much.
I
was during that era when like every sports game wanted to be Tony Hawk, so there was like they had like a licensed soundtrack with a bunch of popular rap and or rock music.
I mean, the thing about it, though, especially in the case of some of the EA titles from around that period, was that some of the licensed soundtracks were actually pretty good.
Oh, I'm not complaining. Like, a lot of those soundtracks went.
Yeah.
It's just like, it was a craze for a while.
I like, I mean, like, I kind of almost, like, I just sort of, like, in my circle of friends, it was kind of like, we spent a lot of time playing, like, Rock Band together, so it was, like, leaping the next stop beyond that to just, like...
The music is the game at that point, yeah.
Is the game at that point, yes.
I mean, Rock Band's one that I always remember is Through the Fire and the Flames by Dragon Force, which is also a song that
Guitar
I like
Hero 3.
Oh, that is Guitar Hero. That's my bad.
Although we also did Guitar Hero.
What did Rock Band have? What was like the
Rock
iconic
Band?
songs
Oh,
on
God.
Rock Band?
Rock Band actually, like, as far as, like, are you talking difficult or just, like, really well known?
Just ones people know.
Ones that are well known. I mean, the one that I remember is, two that I remember are, Reptilia by the Strokes and, Gimme Shelter by the Rolling Stones.
For me, I think, like, maybe Maps by the Yeah, and then if you're thinking of, like, songs from the series that were incredibly hard, Painkiller by Judas Priest.
Oh, yeah. But, like, in terms of, like, ones that, like, like, Maps, funnily enough, we were supposed to play that at our first Battle of the Bands, but, the girl who we had as our vocalist flaked out at the last minute.
Yeah, that sucks.
I mean, like, I really... She was a cool person, but at the same time, she could sometimes be kind of like, you know, flighty.
Flight of the Conchords.
But yeah, Maps is a fucking fantastic song. And also, by the way, did you know that it's about Karen O's relationship with one of the guys from the noise rock band Liars?
Yeah, Angus, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, it's also just a fucking beautiful song.
My Angus, please stay is apparently what it stands for.
Yes.
Apocryphally. I'm not sure whether or not that's actually true.
Yeah, I don't know if it's been fully, properly confirmed, but yeah, that is generally the thing.
I do not know this song. I don't think.
Pack up your things. Oh, say.
Nah, definitely not.
Wait.
I was
they
not
don't love you like I love you.
I was not a rock band or Guitar Hero player, really.
Yeah, it's
like there were a couple people in my circle of friends who liked those games, but I just didn't really care for them.
They don't love you like I love you. Wait.
I don't love you like I love you,
And then we get a copyright strike.
God,
that would be
is exactly the same as Karen O's for us to get a copyright strike for Shredney and I singing Maps together.
What I was gonna say is like that would be the ultimate like dystopia. Is like now you're not even allowed to sing on YouTube, or they'll get you.
Jesus, yeah. Like there are people who've been copyright striked for their uploading their own music.
Yeah, that happened to me on SoundCloud a couple times.
Yeah, unfortunately, claim trolls on YouTube and similar platforms are a well-known problem. I am acquaintances with and follow on Twitter a relatively well-known YouTuber named Rockley Smile, and he was complaining the other day. I guess like an old Let's Play of his got copyright claimed by another Let's Player, because
What the fuck?
Because that person's MCR filed a copyright on all footage of that game. Not a copyright.
That's
but, like,
really fucked up.
Yeah, like, people just abuse the system because they know most people won't bother fighting the claim.
But of course, you know, with Rockley Smile, I assume he did.
Yeah, like they have the I forget what the specific noun is, but they put a claim in the system that does the auto claims, and then it just like it just
An appeal?
no. I mean the people that set the troll accounts up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they like put a thing in the auto claimer, and it will just claim all footage of the game. It was some golf game that came out like 5 years ago or something.
That's really fucking sleazy.
Yeah, it's like you know.
And it's also like that's not even like a game that's like going to be played by a ton of people. So it seems more.
No, it's just you file a ton of them, and then you just obviously you can't do it for
I feel
World
like
of Warcraft.
the aim is.
So you file a bunch of them on like obscure games that not many people have played, and you just get money off of however many small videos you can.
Yeah, I assumed that it was just to like screw over other Let's Players.
There might be that. There might be an element of that, but it's mostly just an extremely cynical way to make money that should really be illegal, but isn't.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm pretty sure that is illegal.
No.
Like, that's a form of fraud.
I mean, you could maybe try to take it to court, but that stuff is all internally handled by YouTube because it's owned by Google, and we live in a cyberpunk dystopia.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it isn't going to be like essentially ignored. I'm saying that it actually is illegal.
How are networks still a thing? I don't know. Like, the whole video network thing was always kind of weird, and then YouTube wanted to crack down on them for less than good reasons because they wanted. Well, my interpretation. I keep accidentally using keys, which is just great. My interpretation was that they wanted more direct control over, like, how YouTube videos are handled. And also, like, it's harder for YouTubers to negotiate one-to-one with a huge faceless entity like YouTube's claim system than it is for a group to do that, so...
Yeah. Although the funny thing is that they allow, multi-channel networks like the ones who run those creepy algorithm-driven...
That's what I'm talking about, yeah.
Like those creepy algorithm-driven, kids things.
Like those are one.
They let those skate by.
It's a whole thing.
Real fucked up.
It's weird. And I wish there was, like, any even semi-viable alternative to YouTube, but there really super isn't.
I mean, it's like all the alternatives are...
What are you gonna do? Go to Nico Doga?
Well, actually, funnily enough, Nico Doga is one of the few that does okay. But that's because it's, like, country-specific, basically.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, the thing is that most of the other, even remotely notable video-type platforms have incredibly different purposes to YouTube, is the thing.
Yeah.
Like, Vimeo does not compete with YouTube.
Remember Blip.tv?
Yeah, Blip got screwed.
I forget what happened to Blip.
Well, I mean, it was more that the people on Blip got screwed. What happened was that they got bought out by Maker Studios, which shifted all their content to YouTube.
And put also these people... Mix. I think that what happened was that Maker got bought by Disney, and then
Yeah.
that kind of was the end of Blip as a platform, pretty much.
Yeah, it really fucking sucked.
Thanks, Chameleonaire. Joke is Chameleonaires on
Heavily invested in Maker Studios.
Maker's board of directors or something, I think. Something like that.
Yeah.
Boy, we've covered a lot of ground this show, haven't we?
Yeah, we have.
Just for the record, I will be ending the stream after this run, regardless of how it goes down.
Oh, okay.
Because we are at the 3-hour mark, and I prefer to save going way over the time for like Magic Planet Live. No GeoGuessr. Yeah, I don't know if you saw on Twitter or were here at the start of the stream, but GeoGuessr is off rotation for a little while because I'm a fool and forgot to renew my subscription. So
yeah, that was unfortunate.
It will come back whenever I have the means to do that. Prep shouldn't be gone for too long.
Yeah, it'll be back soon.
It'll be back soon. GeoGuessr is like one of the few things we do that occasionally brings in new viewers.
Yeah. Huh.
You thinking, Shredney?
Yeah, I am doing a rumination.
About what?
I'm not sure. I mean, I guess I was honestly... Well, I was thinking about Tomato Way, actually.
Tomato Way?
A very strange Ukrainian game that is worth noting.
How so?
It's like it is a it's clearly inspired by gangster and samurai movies, and you play as a tomato that's trying to to uncover the mystery of a disappeared sheriff in this Wild West town, and then you uncover an underground circle of drug dealers and cultists and genetic modification.
And all of this as you're playing as a tomato.
Yes, and you also fight homicidal pickles and onions that are zombies.
What kind of game is it?
An action RPG.
Interesting. Sounds like a good time.
Well, it's kind of like a mix of that with a first-person shooter, kind of. It's an odd game.
You guys remember that scene from The Big O where he's like, "Oh no, I'm a tomato."
Yeah. Yes.
I am greatly simplifying the sequence of things, but that's the gist.
The sequence. The second season of The Big O was peculiar.
That's one way to put it.
It was the most Kanaka thing to ever Kanaka. Okay, maybe not the most Kanaka thing to ever Kanaka, but it's pretty.
You guys ever think about the fact that, like, they literally made that with the assumption that they'd get to make a third season, and then they just didn't.
That fucking sucked. Yeah.
Big O?
They made the second season of The Big O.
Hello? Uh-oh.
Shredney?
Yeah, my connection just totally borked for a sec.
That was weird.
But I was just saying, that there was the assumption that they were going to be able to make a third season of The Big O, so the second season just ends on the weirdest circular cliffhanger.
Yeah. And then, they never got to resolve it.
Yeah, kind of sucks. Like, apparently there there actually were serious plans for it, but it's just like it wound up in development hell because of a lack of funding or something.
And I think at this point, like, the funding committee wrote it off at some point, so, like, we are never getting that, unfortunately.
That fucking sucks, yeah. Same thing happened to the rest of Alien 9. So, like, 4 episodes...
R.I.P. in peace.
Yeah, like... I do wonder if, like, the... What happened with that Yume Nikki adaptation anime?
I don't think there were plans for an anime. There was a manga.
No, I'm saying there were... No, I'm saying it was announced, like, that there would be an anime adaptation. Like, either it was supposed to be this year or next year or something. I can't remember what happened with that.
I know the thing you're thinking of, and I think that turned out to not actually be, like, an official thing.
Huh.
Like, it wasn't a hoax, but it was like a fan-made thing that got picked up and taken as though it was real.
Huh. That's curious. So it was like a doujin animation?
No, like, the trailer was not for anything actual. It was just like a piece of fan art, basically.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's,
yeah.
You know, a piece of doujin animation.
Yeah. Honestly, with how a lot of the post-game Yume Nikki media has been, I don't know if I'd even want an anime.
I was more saying it because if it is an adaptation of the manga, then, you know, it would be kind of funny if, you know, that wound up being a backdoor route to getting the rest of Alien 9 adapted.
The manga is something.
I mean, yeah, I would expect anything involving Hitoshi Tomizawa and that particular game franchise to be... That combination sounds like it would be something.
It's peculiar.
Like, I love Alien 9, but, like, the guy is strange.
Let's go. Alright. Well, this seems to have actually turned out rather well for us. Reroll all my items.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
What about Leviathan?
Leviathan is the name of the transformation I have right now, although you can only barely see it. But, it's like a Cthulhu monster, lets you fly.
Yeah, like you're a horrible, like, tentacled beast.
Yeah, you know.
Neat.
You know.
It's very relatable.
You already know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I find being a tentacled beast very relatable.
You already know what TF going on.
Yeah.
It's also a random bit of garbage graphics up in the corner, so that's interesting. Don't know what caused that. You see it? It's like a little, like, slice of pizza or something.
Yeah, yeah. It does that sometimes.
It does, I don't know why.
Eden.
Just a random chest. I would like to finish this run. Not that I'm in a rush to end the stream, but, like, I want to go make food.
Oh, I understand.
Crow brain. But, yeah, you know. It's been there all game. Maybe I just didn't notice because I had an active item.
You have a vestigial rage, baby.
Yeah. That's my favorite black metal band, by the way. Vestigial Rage Baby.
Vestigial Rage Baby sounds like Well, that sounds like more like...
You're gonna now name the specific subgenre that you think it sounds.
No, I was
more
gonna
like
say
the
it sounds
band
more
would
like
belong to.
a black metal song from some like weird Australian band.
Maybe the name of the band itself is just Rage Baby then.
Or Vestigial Rage. Vestigial Rage sounds like an actual name of a fucking black metal band. Like,
So like,
no,
what's the
no
rule?
joke.
Like it is like pardon me. Is two words fine, but three is too long?
It does depend on the context, but generally speaking with black metal bands, it's either one word that is fairly ornate sounding, like, you know, and this also applies to, like, black metal adjacent genres, like Barathrum or, Antediluvian, you know, are very black metal names. And then, but then, like, two words, if the first word is, like, something Latinate, and then the second thing is something very intense, you know, like, or it's something like Bestial Warlust I
don't like that, Go-Go.
is a very black metal name. Hail Grenade. No,
Is that
that's
a real band?
That sounds like a grindcore band, honestly. Like one of the more tongue-in-cheek ones.
Can you imagine somebody asks you what you do for a living, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm the bassist for Anal Grenade.
It's a fake grindcore band. Okay, that makes sense. But I mean, I could believe that that is some, like, very tongue-in-cheek grindcore band that actually exists. But, like, I mean, there's a really weird, Australian grindcore band called Blood Duster, who apparently now make, like, hard rock music, kind of.
That's one word, but it's two other words put together, and it doesn't mean anything.
I mean, a duster is, you know, like a long coat.
Yeah, but like, I don't know.
I assume that the image they're going for is, like, you know, wearing a duster to keep the blood off you from doing things.
You know.
That result in being covered in blood.
Fascinating.
But like, yeah, like, if you want, also the other way to, like, you know, if you want to, like, nail, like, the name of, okay, if it's a Scandinavian black metal band from a certain period, then you can get away with just calling yourself something like Winterfrost, or there's literally one called Hat, which just means hate in Swedish.
That's stupid.
It is! It looks like their name is Hat.
Hat!
But it has a little O over top of the A.
That's my favorite band. Hat.
Hat.
What's your favorite band whose name is just a noun?
Oh, geez. I mean, Swans is just a plural noun.
That's true.
Coil are really good.
Coil is indeed just a noun. There's some other bands that are just nouns.
Earth.
Earth. Sun. I mean, they spell it funny, but it's just
well, that's a reference
sun.
to sun amplifiers.
Yeah, but like
but you know,
it's still
but
just a noun. Yeah.
Hell.
Health.
Yeah, health
Hell.
are really good. Love. Are
Chairlift.
pretty good.
Chairlift. Yeah, I forgot about them. Nirvana. Yeah, there you go. That's a proper noun, but this is still just a noun.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess if we're including DJ names, then DJ Shadow, DJ Snake.
Yeah.
Lots of DJ names in that vein, actually.
Although,
Yeah.
if you... Well, I think that DJ names are kind of a cheat because it's, like, almost like it becomes a name by adding the DJ in front of it, you know?
Yeah.
Fair. Yeah.
Like, whereas, like, something like, oh god, what's another, like, Envy. Envy are, like, really
If there isn't
good.
already, there should be a band just called Brick.
There probably is.
Oh yeah, Bloom too.
Cleric. Cleric are
Fun.
legit one of my favorite metal bands.
Who are Bloom? I feel like I've heard of them before.
Well, I said Flume. I don't know who Bloom
Oh,
Yeah, I don't.
maybe I'm mistaken.
Loop. Loop is another one.
Loop is a post-rock band, yeah.
Yeah, like, well, yeah, like, kind of like a shoegaze post-rock thing.
Yeah, shoegaze, sorry. That's what I meant to say.
Well, I mean, they are kind of like, they're hard to classify. Medicine, another
Medicine.
weird droney shoegaze band.
Not to be confused with Medicine, the producer, who spells it
Yeah, and
differently.
also, actually, there are a couple of,
Is
shoegaze
Mogwai
bands
just a
with this.
noun, or is that mean
Yes, it's
something?
actually, it's a word meaning, ghost or demon in, Cantonese.
Isn't there also a band called Ghost?
Yes, there are two.
There you go.
There's the one from like I think Sweden or something that's like, you know, a very popular metal band who have kind of moved to become like this super dramatic gothy kind of arena rock act. And then there's the one from Japan who are like a really experimental psychedelic rock outfit that have been around forever and have released very few albums.
You know, what's funny? Technically, Matzo doesn't count, but he has a name that is a homophone with a noun.
Yeah, like matzo
Huh.
bread.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What
but
about
I think where he gets his from is the fact that his name is Matan Zohar.
Hmm.
Yeah.
If you-
Orbital.
Orbital's well, there is such
Blur.
a thing as an orbital. That's
Yeah, exactly.
if you allow like definitive articles, there's a bunch more, like the Cure and
Like
Church
the
and
Orb.
The Orb. There's a ton of them. Anyway,
The Knife.
the Knife. That's our show. Now, before we go for the evening, we're gonna do something real quick. That this is a thing we're doing from now on. At the end of each show, I'm going to read out both my Patreon patrons and the show's Patreon patrons. I combine both of those lists, and also Ko-fi donators from the past week. And we will just be doing that at the end of each show from now on. So, before we close out the show for the evening, a big thank you on the Patreon side to Alice H, Lee
Yay!
C, Lexinator, Michael M, and Sam C. And on the Ko-fi end of things, we have Go Busto and 2 anonymous donations. Thank you all very much.
We love you.
You allow us to do this, and you allow me to like live my life. Which
I
is
think I
very
accidentally
nice.
cheered over Lee's name, but yes, thank
Lee
you,
C, yeah.
Lee C. Yes. So thank you everybody, and I know like almost everybody on that first list.
Coco. You're not a poser. You're a subscriber. That's support. It's the same.
Yeah, that is support. Oh, perturbator would count. Yes. It's a
But,
very strange word though.
But
Joyride. He spells it differently.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That is our show. Thank you everybody for coming out.
Good night.
There will be another Shapes and Forms this time next week, and probably a few streams between now and then. I'll see you all around.
Do 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 do
See you later.
do 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 do.